Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Biggsville, Illinois for I-8FA, Illinois 8-Man Football Association opening round playoff matchup between the Sobos of South Beloit and the Heat of West Central High School. We're at West Central High School tonight, and it is time for playoff football in the state of Illinois. They've started in IHSA, and they're starting right now in about 11 minutes and 50 seconds. It'll be kickoff time here from West Central. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Kenny Suter is alongside. John Burton is on the camera tonight, and it is a great night for football.
Especially when you talk about playoff football, and it is not cold. You know, it's everybody's in sweatshirts and stuff like that, but I was expecting to get 2 coats on and come in here with gloves to do this. We are feeling all right here in the stands at Biggsville as we get both teams set up. Now, it looks like South Beloit did show up a little bit later than probably what they expected, coming in with about 25 minutes to go. So they've only had about a 15-minute warm-up right now, so you probably expect them to be a little colder off the start, especially coming in against a undefeated West Central team. This TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH Broadcast, is brought to you by JoJo's Gaming Parlor. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out the TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH Events, live on the big screens. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street in Bushnell, and cheer our area teams on to victory as we get set. Heat looking to keep this winning streak up against the Sobos, which I got to see earlier this year as they played West Prairie, went into West Prairie and lost a really hard-fought battle, 20-18. Where both teams, it was 8-8 walking into halftime. It was just a defensive battle, hoping to see a little bit of that defense come in against a really great offense in this Heat team.
Yeah, the Heat 9-0 come in as the number 2 seed in the tournament thanks to playoff points. They ended the season with 36 playoff points. Decatur Lutheran, also undefeated, finished with 40 playoff points. That's why Decatur Lutheran, the LSA, Lutheran School Association in Decatur, is the number 1 seed. Tell you what's going on in the I-8FA this weekend. Martinsville, the number 16 seed, is at Decatur Lutheran. South Beloit, of course, is here at West Central. And then South Fork, the number 14 seed, is at Cambridge Ridgewood, who is a first-year 8-man team but finished 8-1 on the season as they head into the playoffs.
Another team we got to see this year up against West Prairie.
And BPC as well, I believe. So AFC is at Milford. AFC is the 13 seed. Milford is the 4 seed. Number 12, Farm City Blue Ridge, is at Amboy. Amboy is the number 5 seed, and Amboy is who was here at West Central last week and saw just how good this West Central team is. Hiawatha is at the defending state champion Polo. Polo is the number 6 seed this year. Hiawatha number 11. West Prairie, Southeastern, the Cyclones make the trip up tomorrow to Milledgeville. You'll be able to watch that game here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Thanks to our friends up at Milledgeville. Been happy to have Milledgeville on the last third of the season here, and hopefully that's a partnership that continues as WCCI Radio uses the audio, and the school puts the camera in with it and mixes some stuff, and they'll have our West Prairie ads on there, I believe, tomorrow as well. But awesome to have Milledgeville playing their games on our Hulett PubliPro LLC YouTube channel as well. The final game of the weekend, or of the list, I should say, is the 8 versus 9 seed, St. Thomas More against Pawnee. Again, teams that you've been able to see this year, at least Pawnee. I guess you didn't go see St. Thomas More, did you?
I don't believe
they were at West Prairie.
West Prairie.
Yeah, okay. They did come to West Prairie this year.
It's been a long year.
We have covered a lot of football on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, but I think it's safe to say that we haven't covered any teams a whole lot better than what West Central has been able to do coming in to this season, because I'll tell you what, they have looked really, really good.
And you got your 3-headed monster when you're coming up. Quarterback Mason Carnes. Dylan Carnes was a kid I grew up with. Anyway, Mason Carnes, you said it. You looked over and said, man, that quarterback is tall. And he is big, and he will run it up the gut like a fullback, running quarterback, and able to pass as well. Caden Drosty, Also a great hard-nosed runner, really just puts his head down, runs over anything. In that West Prairie game, West Prairie has a really decent defensive line that's able to get out of the blocks quick and go against him. There was no stopping him. He was getting through before they were out of their stances. He was already 3 yards up the field, which is really going to what the Sobos are going to have to deal with, is get the alignment up and quick and out.
Yeah, size is important, but we've seen on numerous occasions, Kenny, that 8-man football, size isn't everything, right? You have to mix that size with speed, which is what Carnes does, and you see Blake Cole out there as well. Some other players, they've got some size, but they've got speed to go along with it, and that's kind of the key. I was talking to Jim Unruh of Carthage Blue Boy fame. He's helping on the West Central sideline this year, and he was talking about how he loves the 8-man football game, and if you haven't watched much of it, I'll tell you what, you're missing out, because it is a ton of fun to watch. And the Sobos come in, the number 15 seed. Everybody's I think if you ranked the I8FA this year, West Central would be the number 1 ranked team. But because of seeding and how it works and playoff points, they're the number 2 seeded team. We'll tell you, going into week number 9, this kind of tells you what kind of a season West Central has had. Oh, I went back too far. I will bring that up here in just a second. I was going to say excuse me, the differential in points for and points against is just amazing for these two teams. And I'm having a hard time finding the right link here, folks. I apologize.
While he tries to find that, you can see down there the Sobos warming up, trying to get loose, trying to utilize throw it a little bit more. One thing that I did see against West Prairie that I didn't think they would use, they spread out a lot of motions, but mostly handoffs, a lot of jet sweeps. Didn't really pass as much, and that's going to be one thing that they're going to have to kind of bank on this game, is to spread West Central out. Get as many people out to the corners, get to the sidelines, utilize that sideline to get out quickly and keep the ball moving. Because one thing you don't want to have is a bunch of mistakes inside, a bunch of clouding up, letting the West Central Heat get into the box, just kind of creep in more and more with that defensive front that they have.
I'll tell you that going into week number 9, Decatur Lutheran and West Central, the only 2 undefeated teams. Decatur Lutheran had scored 408 points and given up 226. West Central, the Heat, scored 488 points in 8 games. That's averaging over 60 points a game?
Something like that, yep.
And so 480 would be 60 points a game. So they're averaging over 60, like 61 points a game exactly, I think, if my math is real quick correct there. They've given up 172 points going into week number 9. I know they won 60-some to 32, I think it was, so they added to that margin again. This West Central team is just so balanced as we get ready for the national anthem here.
If you could please stand at this time. Gentlemen, take off your caps for the national anthem sung by band director Pam Moore. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly
national anthem sung by the band director here at West Central High School as we get ready for kickoff here tonight as the Illinois 8-Man Football Association kicks off playoff football across the state here. And I can really honestly say across the state it continues to grow. And other than Southern Illinois, there really are football teams in the I8FA all over the state of Illinois. And it should be a fantastic night of football here as TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH is happy to be here.
As we get set, West Central will get the kickoff as they won the coin toss. They'll be going towards their left on the TV screen or whatever you told me. As earlier we were talking about right to left on the radio dial for Borders.
Yeah, and it's right to left on your TV screen, right to left on the radio dial. I used to say that all the time, and one of my partners through the years and still does games for us at TSSR Game Time Live, Jeff Borders, he absolutely hated when I said right to left on the radio dial because there hasn't been a radio dial on a radio of any kind probably for 15 years, 20 years, maybe longer than that. How long has it been, Kenny? Do you remember a radio dial?
Yeah, of course I do.
Do you? Okay. Well, outside of old school stuff, do you remember a radio dial?
I don't really know. I do know that I used to have a pretty cool old amp set up in my house as the West Central Heat come onto the field.
Carrying the American flag. You have to love that. Blake Cole, I believe, carrying the American flag.
Nice yellow border on it, too. As you can see,
that's an expensive American flag.
Oh, yeah. One thing is you can see that I still love when any high school teams do it and college teams. As you can see, the merit stickers on the back of the helmet, still the coolest thing in the world. All right.
Did you have any merit stickers? Bushnell never did them.
Bushnell did for 1 year that we did.
Did you have any?
Probably a couple. I don't know. I was a lineman. All right. We didn't get credit for much unless you were a defensive lineman.
Block. Well, we're just about ready for kickoff. The Heat will go back to receive. The Sobos will be kicking off for the first time tonight as we get ready to go. Back deep to receive will be Drosty. He is an all-stater for sure, I would imagine. Caden Drosty, a senior. And trying to see who is there to kick off. Right beside, he's right straight with us.
I believe that will be Reese Binder, number 8.
Binder?
Binder.
The announcer said Binder. We'll say Binder, and one of us will be right.
You can hear him anyway. Yeah. We're right next to the speaker.
Hey, if you're watching at home, tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, what you're doing watching. Maybe you're not even a Heat fan or a South Beloit fan. Maybe you're just watching to join us. Maybe it's Jared Schober. Is that number 9 or number 8?
Well, we'll see when he turns around. That is number 9, so that is Jared Schober, the senior.
Here we go as the Sobos clap on the far side. Drosty back deep to receive. It's going to be a squib kick. It's going to roll back to Drosty. He'll pick it up at the 30, goes middle field. He's got some running room, and he's going to break one tackle and then be brought down near the 45-yard line, about the 44. About a 19-yard return for Drosty, and that's where the Heat will start. 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line.
You think that's the opposite of a squib kick, is you don't want it to give it to the guy that is back deep and ready to run like Drosty.
Well, and the Sobos' defense, they let it go. I mean, a couple guys could have stopped it, but they let it go, and Drosty picked it up for a 19-yard gain, which is right about where you want a squib kick to end up anyway. So I guess it's and nearly jumping off sides. They went down to set and jumping off sides for the Sobos, number 34, Trudane Peterson, as he did the tiptoe. He leaned forward, Kenny. I can't stop.
And then he thought he saved himself, and then once he heard that, he went, crap.
Yeah,
I heard it.
I thought maybe I was getting away with it, but not quite. One down lineman here for the Sobos. Carnes under center. He's going to pitch it out to Drosty. He's got running room around the right side. He's going to go 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and a touchdown from the 49-yard line, a 51-yard touchdown run for Drosty. And with 11:46 to go in the first quarter, West Central draws first blood on a 51-yard touchdown run by Caden Drosty.
Pretty much once you saw he found that sideline, you know he was pretty much gone. That's just how this Heat team works. You didn't get to see it as it was only one play, but a big thing about them is they are quick to the line no matter what.
Shotgun formation this time, wide out to the far side. One setback, It's going to be Carnes going to pitch it on the shovel pass inside, and that is number 23 on the reception, Isaiah Steffson. The two-point conversion catch, as technically that was a shovel pass. It was forward. A 51-yard run by Drosty. We'll take our first break of the night here on TSSR Game Time Live. Heat lead 8-0.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And welcome back to Biggsville, Illinois. The Heat lead 8-0 as the score on a one-play, or actually it's two-play drive technically because there was a penalty, a 5-yard penalty, which I didn't mark down on the Sobo's stat sheet, by the way. I apologize for that. Right up there.
Mm-hmm.
And a
loses
squib
the
kick,
ball, he's
and
able
it's
to
going to be
land on it.
recovered. Who comes up with that? Is that 23? It was number 23, Des Hampton. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line for the Sobos as they try to answer with 11:44 to go here in quarter number 1.
That was right out of the Heat playbook. Quick, easy touchdown, keep it moving. That's how you get, 61-point average. As here comes the Sobos. Oh, go around to the end. He gets past a couple. He has one more to beat.
It's all about being number 12 from the 39.
Caden Myers on the rush.
The quarterback on the keeper, Caden Myers. He goes from the 39, it's 11 to the 50. We'll see how far down. And another 14 on top of that to the 36. So 25-yard carry and a first down for the Sobos. And Myers will be back under center. I formation behind him. He's going to take the snap, fakes the handoff, looks back to pass, lobs it right side on the screen, coming up to make the stop initially. Have to wait and see. It's Carnes who came up to make the stop. The pass was completed to Des Hampton. It's going to be little to no gain on the play. It's going to bring up second down for the Sobos at the 36-yard line of the Heat. 11:03 to go here in quarter number 1.
As you saw in that first play, as you're going to see now, there's a little bit of an odd formation as they got two men offset behind. They always run a motion right there. Turns around this time, they're going to do the same play.
And it's going to be Myers coming to the middle of the field. Is going to gain 6 or 7 by the time he falls forward. The Heat did a better job of containing it that time, but it will be a nice game. We'll give him 7. Yes, we'll give him 7. 3rd down and 3. After the gain of 7 by Myers. And again, the double wing formation behind a 2 tight end set. Myers is going to take the snap. In motion goes Schobert. The handoff's going to come near side this time. Carnes is there, though.
Great.
Nothing doing. The handoff that time to number 11, Lorenz Koska. There it is, Koska. Lawrence Costa.
Loses about 2.
Yeah. About 4th down and 4.
Mason Carnes did a perfect job of containing. He even got a nice block on him, was able to use those long arms to reach across.
4th down and 4. It's going to be a fake, and then down across the middle. Wide open receivers overthrown, and they had the first down in hand if they could make the connection, and they couldn't do it. Turnover on downs, 1st and 10 at the 29 for the Heat. 8-0 they lead, 9:52 to go in quarter number 1.
That right there, you got a little bit of a play, but bend don't break mentality with this Heat team, able to knock it down with some great, contained plays. It's really going to be a hard time for the Sobos if they can't figure out a way to cut up field before that contain hits.
So Carnes back under center, I formation. Handoff's going to go to the pitch outside to Drosty. He makes one man miss, and he might go again. 50-yard line, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Caden Drosty from the 29-yard line. That if my math is correct, that makes it a 71-yard touchdown run.
2 runs, 130 yards.
130 yards on
Both
2 carries.
touchdowns, yep.
So with 9:41 to go in quarter number 1, Drosty scores from 71 yards out on the same exact play as Carnes rolls out, gets the edge to commit to the quarterback, and he pitches out to the running back. It took one sidestep that time by Drosty, but that's all it was. Now Drosty's going to be the lone setback beside Carnes, this time from the left side. Carnes is going to take the snap at the pitch. It's on the ground. Carnes is going to go back to get it. He's going to pick it up. He's got some running room. Makes one guy miss. He's going to be brought down finally. The run will fail, which I think was supposed to be a pass.
Just a little bit of a broken play on the 2-point conversion, but 14-0 with 9:41 remaining here.
As I was saying earlier, if you're watching a game from wherever you're watching it from, hop on our live chat. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, or if you're one of the other coaches from the I-8FA. Hop in there and let us know what you think of this broadcast so far. We will tell you that TSSR Game Time Live will have 2 or 3 of the quarterfinal games, 4 if we can get lucky enough to find all the staff to do it. But we'll have both semifinal round games no matter where they're at in I-8FA, and then we'll have the state championship game live from Monmouth College on November 18th. So had a lot of fun doing that game last year. We're super excited to be able to come back, and that's one of those deals we pull out as many stops as we can.
Already we were talking about kind of what our plans are and hopefully to get better than we were last year, as we had a little bit of issues with interference, hoping to get that all worked out as we get set for the kickoff.
On the kick for the – and the ball comes loose. It's going to be recovered by the Heat. Number 35 coming up with it. That's Parker Meldrum.
He's going to point. There you go. He pointed to the wrong side. I wondered what he was doing. That referee down there.
It was touched by the.
It was
touched by the Sobos.
Back.
The kicker with Nick Woods, number 89.
Well, if you're the Heat, let's just keep on pouring it on here in this first quarter. Get the easy little onside kick that worked perfectly for him.
And a timeout's going to be called by the Sobos. With 9:37 to go, it's 14-0. The Heat, they've scored on 2 one-play drives. Well, the first one was kind of a 2-play drive. There was a penalty first, but it's been all Heat so far. We'll take a break and be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH in just a moment.
A lot of people don't realize that you don't have to live with the dizziness day to day, especially concussions as well, that we can treat those things here. Same with pain. You don't have to live with the pain that you're experiencing. We have the ability to help you.
The thing I enjoy most is that we take care of a wide variety of people in our community. I see infants through teenagers and mothers and fathers, and I really enjoy that.
Welcome back to Biggsville. I want to say hi to Maya Marsden, who's watching. It's kind of insane watching as a West Central alumni, remembering before we were I-8FA with years. It's 1-8, 0-9, 1-8. Yeah, it's amazing what being able to go a little smaller and having enough players to actually play against teams. As Carnes is going to throw it, and it's going to be incomplete. The pass was intended for number 35, Parker Meldrum. It's incomplete. The first play that hasn't resulted in a touchdown for the Heat. With 9:33 remaining in the first quarter, they lead 14-0.
Coach John McCormick in here looking at. Might be some competition. Of course, he has to throw in Go Cyclones. Tomorrow we'll be able to see McCormick as he goes against Milledgeville.
Yeah, Milledgeville and the Cyclones live from Milledgeville tomorrow here on TSSR Game Time Live. Handoff's going to go to Drosty this time. Not a lot of running room up the middle, though.
Fumbles.
The ball came out. They're going to say he was down. And I don't know that he was technically down, but his forward progress had been stopped. It's going to be a short gain on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down. We'll say they're going to talk about it. They're going to move it forward. A gain of 3. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 7 for the Heat.
Rare 3rd down for this Heat team with 9:07 remaining. We'll see if they try to mix it up or just keep on trying to run through that off tackle.
And nearly got offsides again. In fact, I think he probably was with his helmet.
He definitely did, but he was looking at the hand, not the helmet.
Carnes going to pitch it out to Drosty again, see if he can get a 3rd touchdown in a row, and he just might do it. He's at the 30, 20. He's got one man to beat, and he will, as long as they don't blow him out on the sideline.
47-yard rushing touchdown for Drosty.
I was waiting. One official was running down late. I thought he might be marking him down out of bounds because he did kind of tightrope the sideline on the far side of the field, but No such luck for the Sobos. It's 20-0 after a 47-yard touchdown run by Caden Drosty.
Back into shotgun.
Drosty throws, and he completes the pass. Drosty to, it's number 23 again, Isaiah Steffson, and it's 22-0.
A little bit of the Wildcat action working for the 2-point conversion. Throwing some new stuff in there.
Got to give everybody something to think about.
Exactly. You never know. Heck, might come down to a couple of weeks later in a championship game. West Central might throw Drosty out there as starting quarterback. TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, is brought to you by McDonough District Hospital. McDonough District Hospital and the MDH Rehabilitation Center, with locations in Bushnell and Macomb, provide athletic trainers who give expert help to area student athletes in the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Learn more at mdh.org. McDonough District Hospital, more than hospital care, a hospital caring.
8:42 to go here in quarter number 1. 22-0 Heat with the lead over the Sobos of South Beloit. And we mentioned that they got here a little late, came on the field with about 22 minutes to go before the game started. You think that has anything to do with the slow start as Woods is on the kickoff again? Another onside kick. It's missed and bobbled and thopped around. And who's going to come up with it? I think the Sobos got it that time.
Sobos did, but
no, they didn't. It's going to be the Heat ball again. This time it's recovered once again by Parker Meldrum. He's got a nose for the football. He recovers his second onside kick in a row, and it's going to be first down and 10 for the Heat at the 40-yard line of the Sobos.
When it rains, it pours, and sure is raining points for the Heat here with, 8:37, 22-0 already.
We haven't even played 4 minutes yet, folks. They scored with 11:46 to go in the first quarter. They scored with 9:41 to go, and they scored with 8:42. The 10-minute mark was the only time they didn't score thus far. Now a pitch going to come left side to Drosty. He's got blockers in front of him. He rounds around the corner. He's going to be dropped down out of bounds. And Drosty gets thrown into the crowd, which we talked about how it's kind of weird how close they let the crowd get to the field here. And Drosty was thrown out of bounds by Caden Myers.
First
Caden
down
Myers
for
and
him.
Caden Drosty both wearing number 12. It is a first down, a Sports Corner first down for the Heat.
Try to figure out exactly where they got him set at.
It's like the 27-yard line.
Looks like it.
We'll call it.
We'll go out to
28.
Well, they got 27 over there.
Okay, sounds good. 27. I formation for Carnes. Tied into the near side, tied into the far side. Handoff's going to go to the fullback. It's Meldrum, and he breaks a tackle or two, and he's going to be down near the 20-yard line. 21-yard line, so a 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4.
First play that hasn't utilized Drosty. Even the incomplete pass was intended for Drosty. 2nd and 4. Now we're within 8 minutes.
Well, they had to wait to the turn 7 before they could score again. Heat here with the snap. Handoff's going to go to Drosty. He breaks a tackle. They have a Sports Corner first down, and he's going to rumble, stumble, and bumble his way into the end zone. A 21-yard touchdown run for Caden Drosty. His 4th rushing touchdown in the first 5 minutes, or actually 4 minutes and 16 seconds.
4 minutes and 16 seconds, 4 touchdowns, 214 yards.
I didn't walk that far all day today.
When's the last time you have walked that far?
That's a good question. I did walk out to the truck a couple times, so maybe I did walk
Maybe.
that far today.
I don't know. I would say racing, but now that we got that side-by-side.
Here's Carnes, going to roll left, pitch inside again. It is the 2-point conversion pass completed to Isaiah Steffson.
From Carnes to Isaiah Steffson, 2-point conversion is good.
So 32-0 here. Whew. Man, it should be halftime at this point. It just feels like it. A lot of stuff has happened in between 4 minutes. we get set here on TSSR Game Time Live.
So the Heat lead 30-0, 7:44 to go in quarter number 1. And I guess when you're the second seed and 9-0 and you play a 5-4 team, you expect to take care of business. I don't know that you expect to take care of business like this, though.
Exactly. Drosty is going to definitely want an ice bath when he gets home. I mean, he's used to using this amount of effort throughout a game. You know, he's averaging great numbers for touchdowns and yards. But 4 touchdowns and over 200 yards in 4 minutes is a little bit much, you'd think. Set back to kickoff. We'll see if he'll go third time's a charm for Squibs. This one will actually roll down, so Sobos will get a return up through almost to the 45, 46-yard line, we'll say. He keeps on moving, gets a nice push.
Good return there for the Sobos.
Looks like it was
Myers on the return. Caden Myers, he's the quarterback, and he'll be bringing the squad out here to try to make something happen. This is only the second offensive possession for this team. 2 straight onside kicks were recovered by the Heat. So they did have a first down in their first possession. So we'll see what happens. Myers is going to fake the pitch, and it's a busted play. Brings it back right side. He's got some running room. He's going to be close to a first down, but bringing him down from his defensive back position was number 18, Colton Fletcher. Myers is going to go for a nice gain, though. Going to go for a gain of 6, 2nd and 4. They say 2nd and 3. It's a long 3 if you call it 3. I'd say it's a gain of 6. Myers back under center. Fake the handoff inside. He keeps it again, runs it up the middle. He'll have a first down to the 40-yard line. A gain of 6, and it's 1st and 10 for the Sobos. Myers back under center. He's going to hand off to the fullback this time. Ball, and he faked the handoff. He had me fooled. I looked down, thought the play was over. Myers is going to keep it and go for a gain of about 3. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 7. Well, that was a good fake to the fullback, and the Heat weren't fooled, but I sure was. Fake was to Jared Schober. Myers back under center. Handoff. He's going to go left side this time, and some running room around the left side. It's
Loses
to
Loses the ball.
Koska. He lost it, and it's going to be recovered by the Heat. Is that Meldrum again?
Looked
No.
like
No. I think it's Steffson, actually. Is it number 23? Yep. Steffson coming up with it. I couldn't see the number for sure, but it's going to be Heat football nonetheless at their own 35-yard line.
And, man, once you get a little bit of momentum like the Sobos are building up, that is the opposite of what you want, a quick fumble just to deflate everybody. You know, still got a lot of game left here.
6:23 remaining in the first quarter. Heat have the football again. Carnes will go back under center. High formations full set behind him. Tight ends near and far for the Heat. Kind of their standard formation. Carnes is going to hand off to the fullback, and he's going to go. That is Meldrum, number 35. If he can outrun the defense, and he will. Parker Meldrum is going to go from the 35. That makes it a 65-yard touchdown run, another one-play drive. The second one-play drive, or third one-play drive of the half, or of the quarter, I guess of the half too, technically. 65-yard touchdown run.
And that was perfect blocking. Had a wide open hole, only one man to beat, and he just ran right past.
Parker Meldrum, the fullback. Now it's going to be the I formation set again behind Carnes. Pitch is going to go Drosty. He's going to look to throw, and he'll throw. He had it to Carnes a little too hard. Carnes had to reach behind him and couldn't bring it in. Pass failed from Drosty to Carnes, and it'll be 36-0 after the missed two-point conversion.
36-0 here with 6:13 remaining in this first quarter. Sounds like it should be a third quarter score at least, but here with the first quarter, we'll take a quick break here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
We're an 11-bed ER. I pride myself on every day that the patients get what they need and see a physician when they need it. We want them to be headed towards the road of recovery when they leave here. I feel like we have nurses that care so much. We're more than a team. It's a family, and we want what's best for the patient.
So we get set back here on TSSR Game Time Live. They're at 34, 35, 36.
The cheerleaders are
26, excuse me.
The cheerleaders are going to be tired by the end of the night. I'm telling you, folks. They're doing a jumping jack for every point of the night. They've done 8, 14, 22, 30, and 36 now. Woods is back on to kick off as we get ready to go here. A little higher kick that time. Coming up to get it was the Sobos, and a big stick over there on the far side.
All momentum stopped. That was picked up by number 5 here, Ivan Hernandez.
He goes out to the 45 on the return, and it'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Sobos. The Sobos have had a little success moving the football, Kenny, but they just haven't been able to complete a drive. They've had one end on downs and one end on a turnover.
Exactly, 3 first downs, 4. I'm going to look to make it 4 as that is caught.
Oh, nice catch in traffic by number 23, Des Hampton. Myers completed the pass. It's going to go down inside the 40. 15, 16, 17 yards on the reception for Hampton. And it's going to bring it 1st down and 10 for the Sobos. And that one was not nearly as wide open as the first one. It was overthrown. Here's a high formation. And
keeper,
Myers kept it, dropped it, fumbled it, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield. It is Meldrum back there to bring him down after he picked the fumble up. He's going to lose about 5. It's going to bring up, actually, let's see where they mark it at. Yeah, we'll call it a loss of 5. 2nd down and 15.
Got a little bit too full of himself, not full of himself, ahead of himself.
Yeah, he tried to switch hands with the ball after the fake and just lost control of it. He bobbled that one again, and that time the handoff's going to go to Kotska, and he's going to go for a nice gain around the left side. The ball skills for Myers are impressive. He's going to go for a gain of plus 10. We'll see where he goes, where he ends up.
Really, every single play has at least 1 or 2
a gain
fakes.
Of 12.
So he is doing great with holding on to that ball to move it around.
Here's Myers running this time. He's going to get the 1st down, breaks a couple tackles, then gets stood up and just nailed by Drosty. But it's going to be a 1st down from the 31. He goes down into the 25-yard line technically, not quite to the 24. I bet they call it the 24, though. They do. So a gain of 7. And it's going to be a single setback with a H-back to the right side, a wide out to the far side. Myers is going to pitch it out this time. A little Heat-esque play there. And it's going to be a nice gain on the play by Koska.
Let's see how close they get to the 1st down.
Going to bring up a gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. Inside the 20. And a timeout's going to be called.
He will take a timeout here as they'll slow down a little bit for the Sobo. Sobo's getting a little bit of momentum, really, with Myers. Just keeps on moving around. TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, is brought to you by Sports Corner at 124. Macomb's original local sports bar is the Sports Corner at 124, with a focus on local sports. Catch WIU games and all the area TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH broadcast at Sports Corner at 124. All while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb.
So the Heat take the timeout. I think Coach Kirby not probably happy with the defense here as they've kept the Sobos out of the end zone. But I mentioned before this drive, the Sobos have had the ability to move the football. They got down into the red zone nearly the first drive and then turned it over on downs. And then now they face a 2nd and a short 4 here. But they fumbled on the last drive after they got into Heat territory as well. Myers is going to keep it this time. He's going to roll around left side. He's going to have a 1st down and more. He's going to be down inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for the Sobos, and it looks like about the 8 or 9 yard line. We're not really high enough to tell the angle real well, but it's going to be 1st and goal nonetheless. We'll call it the 9.
They'll say the 10, so gain of 7.
Handoff's going to go to Schrober. Schober is going to go for a gain of 3 or 4, down to just outside the 5-yard line, it would appear. See where they mark it. Looks like down to
Looks
the
like
6.
7.
6 or 7. Give him 4. This time it's going to be Myers on the keeper. He's going to be brought down. Oh, no, he breaks a tackle, and he didn't quite break it. He almost broke it. Getting a handful of jersey.
Drosty on the tackle. Really great job of lost a little bit of the momentum on the first tackle, able to hold on to the leg and just wait for the cavalry to come home.
I thought the ball moved back a little bit, but the down marker didn't really move any, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and goal.
Looks like they're going to move him back 1 on the 8.
Here comes the fake, looking to pass. Myers rolls right. He's got some running room. He's got
Nice
a blocker
block
out there, and he might get in. He does, I think. No signal. Finally, a signal, and the Sobos get on the scoreboard with 3:11 to go. An 8-yard touchdown run for Caden Myers.
Right there, that's pretty much shown that Myers is the main offensive mover for this Sobos team. He did pretty much everything underneath the sun to get down inside for that touchdown.
Myers back under center, drops back, pitches left. It's going to be Kotska on the 2-point conversion run.
2-point conversion is good by Lawrence Kotska.
So 36-8 your score now after the 2-point conversion.
Got some more scores
There we
for
go.
you.
Apologies, our scoreboard every now and then likes to go a little slow.
Got Monmouth Roseville 14, Stillman Valley 8.
3:11 remaining here in this first quarter. As Sobo's finally getting a little bit of life on the offensive side. You know, they had
22-8. Hiawatha is losing to Polo. Sorry, go ahead.
they had a great job of getting the ball down, getting it moving. They had the 1 turnover on downs. Other than that, the real thing that hurt them was 2 straight onside kicks that the upbacks just couldn't hold on to. So we'll
see if they try to return the favor here.
I think, you know, you pretty much have to. You're going to try and get some momentum back down 36-8 here in this first quarter. Getting the ball lined up once again is kicker Jared Schober. Back to this kind of a little bit of a check for a kickoff. As you can turn around what we used to call the royal flush while you're sitting there talking in the huddle, turn around and kick it. They'll walk back out.
22-8. Polo over Hiawatha with 1:38 to go in the first quarter. And it's going to be an onside kick recovered by
Number 10.
Is it? No, it's number 16.
That is Jordan Kane, the freshman.
Jordan Kane covers the kick.
Freshman out there on hands team because you had to expect that was coming.
100%. That was the type of plays. Normally I would be the first up back. Anytime I heard hands team, is like, all right, get the slow people out. Let's get all the fast kids in.
And Carnes is going to go back under center. I formation coming here as Meldrum will be the fullback, Drosty the deep setback. 2 tight ends. Meldrum will be, as I said, the fullback. Steffson will be one of the tight ends. Carnes going to pitch it to Drosty around the outside. Now, what a block from Meldrum, and Drosty's going to go. Drosty from the 47-yard line, a 53-yard touchdown run for Caden Drosty.
And I think that defender just got down out of the air on that block. That was
a huge
great block. 5th TD for Drosty. 267
yards for Drosty so far. And we're in the first quarter, folks. 5 touchdowns, 267 yards. I didn't rush for that much in flag football.
How much rushing were you doing, really?
I was actually skinny back then. I played running back a lot, actually. And Carnes is going to go in for the 2-point conversion run.
44-8, your score here with 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Man, it just seems like it just keeps on going and going. You'd think that it'd be the second quarter by now, but we'll take a quick break here as we'll take a quick break here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
Welcome back to Biggsville, Illinois. West Central Heat and Sobos of South Beloit. 3 minutes to go in quarter number 1. 44-8 is the score. And Caden Drosty has had a career here in the first quarter. 267 yards and 5 touchdowns in 9 minutes. And he's got some tackles to throw in there as well.
Oh, yeah.
He's had a game, folks. He's the real deal. Just so fast, but the blocking has been phenomenal. Here's Woods. He's going to squib it down the middle again. It's going to be picked up at the 35-yard line. Going to be on to carry number 4, Devin Morris, I do believe. He's going to go out across the 40 to about the 41. Gain of 6 on the return. It'll be 1st and 10 Sobos, who in their defense drove it right down the field the last time against the West Central Heat defense. And we'll see if they're able to do that again as they have 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
Getting the play in. Both teams now trying to get it speeding up for both teams. You'd think that maybe with the Heat want to be faster, the Sobos would slow it down a little bit, but it was working for him on the last drive.
Nice pitch out this time to Koska, and he stumbled. He's brought down.
Say at the 47. About 6
Colton
on
Fletcher
the run.
on the stop. Gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. And he kind of had a weird step there. I was afraid he might come up lame. That was one of those, if you see that in the NFL, it's a ACL kind of step. But he was able to keep going. Myers under center, 2 wing backs. And offsides by number 98.
They're trying to run trying to run a little bit of a twist between the two ends, mix them around. And I think that a little bit of motion behind him got that nose guard off a little bit. They'll walk up 5.
1st and 10 on the 5-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line for the Sobos.
2nd penalty overall this game, and it's 44-8.
Hampton, the tight end near side. There's a wide out far side. H-back near and a halfback to the left. And again, they were a little offside as they see Koska go in motion. No flag that time. It's going to be a gain of 3 for Koska, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and 7.
About a gain of 3 on it.
Doak Allen, I wouldn't say that so much, but can't argue with your comment. Myers keeps it, rounds left side. He's going to find some running room. He'll be close to a 1st down, but he's going to be tackled over there on the far side. Try to see who comes running across here. It's number 9 on the stop. That is Landon Winters, I believe, on the stop for the Heat. Myers had the 6-yard carry. It brings up 3rd down and 1. A very, very short one, albeit, but it is 3rd down and 1. Clock is running, 1:36 to go here in the first quarter. Myers going to roll right, throws to Koska. Koska's got some running room. He breaks a tackle, stumbles forward. He'll have the 1st down and a whole bunch more. Down inside the 30, close to the 20. We'll see where they actually stop marking it here. He might be inside the 20. He is inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line, it would appear.
So about a 20-yard pass.
Actually, a 19-yard line, so 19-yard pass.
There we go.
Broke a tackle about 10 yards downfield, got an extra 9 because of it. It's 1st and 10 Sobos. And fake the handoff. Koska now on the counter, and he'll go forward for another nice gain. Looks like a gain of approximately 7. We'll see where they mark it down at.
And he just, entire way up there was just shucking and jiving down the lane trying to get through.
6 yards, 2nd and 4. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. The wide out on the far side for the Sobos, number 34, is Trudane Peterson.
And another offsides. Might be a
false start. It is a false start. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9 now. That's the second penalty or first penalty on Beloit? South Beloit.
Second. They had that offsides in that first play of the game.
Oh, that's right.
Only the third penalty so far this game. 46 seconds remaining.
And clock started again here. It is 44-8. Just the scoreboard is not incorrect, folks. It is 44-8.
First quarter.
Myers going to take the hand. Nope, fake it. Rolls right. Throws back to the left. It's
34.
Number 34. It is number 34.
He'll
He's
get
going to have
very
a
close.
first down inside the 5-yard line. It's going to be Trudane Peterson on the screen pass. Went opposite direction. A little misdirection. He'll have a nice gain down to the 3. Gain of 15. First and goal at the 3. Myers is going to give it to...
Which one of them had the ball?
Myers had the football.
There we go.
Still at the backfield, and Drosty was back there with him, I think is who that was. Didn't get fooled. Whoever that was didn't get fooled. It's a loss on the play.
Seems like a loss of 2.
Yeah, we'll call it a loss of 2, and that's how quarter number 1 will come to an end. The Heat lead 44-8 in the first quarter. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, coverage of I-8FA playoff football here from Biggsville, Illinois. We finally get to the end of quarter number 1. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, is brought to you by Barkley Bills Co., a hat brand built on 2 staples, comfort and style, specializing in snapback trucker-style caps. Check out the selection or consider customs to build your business at barkleybillsco.com. Use code TSSR through Friday for 15% off. Don't let the hat rack fool ya. There's always room for one more. barkleybillsco.com, wishing good luck to all athletes this season. And also brought to you by MTC Communications. Having slow, unreliable internet just doesn't cut it in today's world. MTC Communications offers lightning-fast, reliable fiber internet, video, camera, and phone systems to the McDonough, Henderson, and Hancock County and areas, and is expanding quickly. Visit mtc.crowdfiber.com to check your availability.
Myers going to roll right, tacks it in, and he's going to be tackled by Carnes and friends. Also on the stop for the Heat, along with Carnes, was number 77, Brody Link. And it's going to be no gain on the play. It's going to bring up third down and goal from the 5. Third and goal for the Sobos. It's going to be Myers on the keeper. He's going to roll right, bounces it back inside. He's going to be close to a touchdown. See where they mark it. It's going to be short, a gain of about...
Looks like they
say it's a touchdown.
Says it is a touchdown.
I never seen any arms go up anywhere, though. Did you?
On the right side was the
far side?
Only one I could see. However, you had 2 referees right there, and they didn't say anything.
So it is a touchdown. Myers with a 5-yard touchdown run. Myers is going to roll right after a broken play. Now he's going to throw back across his body. It's going to be tipped around and caught by Hampton in the back of the end zone. 2-point conversion pass is good from Myers to Hampton.
So 44-16 now, which Sobos, that's kind of what they need to do. At every opportunity they have, they need to convert. They need to be pretty much perfect up against this West Central team. 44-16, they still have 3 full quarters to come back. As they get back towards the sideline, you probably have the Heat telling them, hey, relax. You know, look at the scoreboard. You don't have to get too much in a rush. We'll just keep on doing what we're doing. It's been working so far, so you don't need to worry about getting down a little bit.
Well, I don't think you're worried about getting down, but you got to worry about your defense making stops. I mean, you know you're ahead, and you can't get lackadaisical and think, well, it doesn't matter because we're so far ahead. And I'm sure that's what Coach Kirby and the crew are talking about. You know, I know we're up big, and they've showed no ability to stop us defensively, but we have to pick it up on the defensive side of the football, not let them continue to score. Of course, I'll tell you what, you can't get in a foot race with this Heat squad. It's pretty apparent that is the case. And you want to get in a scoring battle, you're going to lose that more times than not, I do believe.
Can't see exactly where, but one of the TV stations locally has a cameraman down here, and I think he's running just as much as Drosty is to get on the far sides for all these touchdowns.
Myers on to kick off, I do believe.
So a different kicker
it's
this
not
time.
Myers, it's number 82, Luis Salas.
62.
62, excuse me. There's Drosty on the carry. He's going to come out across the 40.
So they
Brandon Figueroa.
Different kicker this time as they changed it up.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 Heat outside their 40-yard line. Looks like it's going to be the 42-yard line, 1st and 10.
Jensen Laughlin in the chat room saying, are we sensing a comeback? I don't know. The Sobos have been on a pretty good 2-drive, getting that offense going.
I will say there's a possibility of a comeback when they show an ability to stop the Heat offense here for one series. Have not done that yet. Here's the handoff. Nope, it's going to be Carnes. He kept it.
That is a face mask. I don't know what that ref.
He's going to lose a yard or two. Loss of 1, 2nd down and 11.
Carnes on the rush?
It was Carnes on the keeper, and Meldrum would have still been running it. He handed it off to him. But he faked the handoff. I think he was looking for the pitch, but didn't have time to get it off. So it's 2nd and 11 for the Heat. 10:50 remaining here in quarter number 2. Still in the first half. You want to change that to second quarter finally?
Oh, hey, you know what? Haven't done that.
Carnes is just going to follow Meldrum right up through the hole. He'll go for a gain of 5 and bring up 3rd down and 6.
Second, 3rd down for this Heat squad so far this game. They get set back up, I formation, 2-man tight.
Carnes back under center. He's just going to plow forward again. He's going to go for a 1st down, break some more tackles, and finally he's going to get brought down by Schober, but he's going to go for a 1st down, a Sports Corner 1st down from the 46 down to the 40. It's a gain of 6.
That is enough for a Heat 1st down.
And it's a Sports Corner 1st down for the Heat from the Sobo 40-yard line.
They're up 44-16. That is only their 3rd 1st down.
Yeah. Macomb did that to LVC earlier this year, too. They had 4 1st downs in the first half and was leading by 30-some points. Carnes back to pass. He's going to overthrow his intended receiver, which was Steffson. And back there in coverage for the Sobos, which was actually deep and in better position to make the catch.
He could turn his body so we could see.
It's Koska, I believe.
Man, he was in perfect position. If he had turned his head just a split second sooner, he probably would have picked that one off.
So 2nd down and 10 from the 40 for the Heat. 40 of the Sobos, I might add. Clock stopped, 9:49 to go in the first half. Carnes just going to barrel his way forward again. He's going to go for a gain of about 7. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
A little chippy on that push at the very end between these two squads up on the line. Why not keep on running keepers if your line will get 4 or 5 yards just in the first half a second?
Yeah, you do this just to keep things honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's following behind the center there. Just diving in.
Gain of about 7.
3rd and 3 for Carnes and the Heat. Handoff's going to go to Meldrum this time. He broke one of those earlier. He's going to go for a 1st down, a Sports Corner 1st down, now to the 26-yard line from the 33. So it'll be a gain of about 7 yards. 1st and 10, Heat at the 26-yard line of the Sobos.
8:56 remaining in this second quarter. Quarter's going a lot faster than that first one. As now we got a little bit of a drive here for the Heat.
Carnes back under center. Pitches out to Drosty. Drosty's hitting the backfield. And a negative play for Drosty. He's not. I don't know if he's actually going to lose a yard, but he's going to get no gain.
Loss of 1.
Well, no, they moved it almost back. That's not a whole yard.
Yeah.
We'll call it no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. 8:23 remaining. Clock running here in the first half. It's been a while since anybody scored.
Yeah, it's been like, what,
2 minutes? Not even, or 3 minutes. It's been 3 minutes.
It's going to be a keeper.
Here's Carnes on the carry. He rolls around right side. He's got a whole bunch of white jerseys all over him. And Hampton coming up limping for the Sobos. In on the stop, Lucian Simmons and others. It's a gain of 4, 3rd and 6.
And on a keeper, you got to wait till you get the entire team to stop Carnes. That's just how strong of a runner he is.
Carnes back under center. He's just going to barrel his way forward again. And he's going to be close to a first down. He met face-to-face with Peterson, and Peterson couldn't even get an arm around him.
Will be 4th down. Very close.
So gain of 5 for Carnes. 4th and a very short 1 yard for the Heat.
Give it up for the Heat.
Carnes. And I think the Sobos just jumped off sides.
Oh, man.
They did.
Yep. I was just about to say, you think Carnes will run a quarterback sneak?
I think that was probably the plan if they'd have got there.
So another offsides for the Sobos.
1st and 10 from the 11. They can get another first down if they don't get to the end zone quite.
7 minutes remaining.
Clock is running. Here in the second quarter, pitch is going to go out to Drosty, a more of a traditional pitch, and he cuts up inside and he'll go in from 11 yards out. A little hesitation for Drosty, and he scores from 11 yards out. A short touchdown run for Drosty.
Well, 40 yards is a short touchdown run for Drosty at this point.
6:51 remaining in the second quarter. Drosty scores from 11 yards out. The Heat trying to respond to the last touchdown and 2-point conversion by the Sobos. Heat have missed 2 2-point conversions tonight. Everything else has worked effectively. Carnes going to hand off on a crossed buck.
It's going to be a in there Drosty
to Colton Fletcher. Was it Drosty?
That right there is one of my favorite plays.
I totally thought that was number 18 that carried that in.
A reverse handoff. We always would have it in our playbook just in case, but it was always one of the best things to do. Nobody expects it.
52-16. 6:51 to go in the.
There we go. Our scoreboard was just a little bit slow, like it happens every now and then here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, brought to you by McDonough District Hospital. Thank you for voting McDonough District Hospital Rehabilitation Center as best of the best in McDonough County. Let their experience in dedicated sports medicine and rehabilitation staff show you why MDH has been voted best of the best in 2017, 2018, 2019, and again in 2020. 3 convenient locations serve you, 2 in Macomb and 1 in Bushnell. As they got the kick return team on the field.
For the Sobos, a little more traditional
a little bit
formation.
Back, playing back a little bit more, except in one of those smaller squibs that'll go 10 or 20 yards.
Woods is back on to kick for the Heat. Look out, throwing footballs at us. Don't hit Kenny in the hands because he can't catch.
I was a lineman. Of course I can't catch.
And they're going to squib it again onside a little bit. It's going to be recovered perfectly by Hampton that time. And it's going to be first down and 10 for the Sobos at the 49-yard line on their side of the 50.
Good field position for Myers and the Sobos if they can keep on moving. 52-16, 6:50 remaining. And boy, once it hit about 8 minutes left in the second quarter, the temperature dropped.
Yeah, it's a little cooler out here. John Burton doesn't have his ears covered with a stocking cap, though, so it's not that cold. Myers on the far side is going to be brought down over there.
With the sack, was taken down by Brody
4.
Link.
Called his name several times now to have Wade Links, and it's second down and 14 for the Sobos. I'm standing up in front of the radio guys. I probably ought to sit down so they can see through my big head. Handoff to the fullback. He's going to go for maybe a gain of a yard.
That was a shoulder on the run.
Picks up maybe a yard.
Gain of 1, 3rd down and 13. 6:02 to go. Clock running here in quarter number 2. 52-16. Crazy thing is we're still not to 40 points yet, even though they've scored. And Myers is going to look back to pass. He's got a wide open receiver, but he can't outrun the defense, I don't think. He's not going to. It was Peterson on the catch.
Drosty on the tackle, and, man, he ran just so quickly. You can see there just the speed differential between these two teams.
From the 46 down inside the 20. Colton Fletcher, they said, brought him down. He's down to the 16. So 34 plus 4 is 38 yards. I formation set behind Myers now. He's going to fake the handoff, and he's going to give it to Koska. Ball comes out. It's on the ground, and it may be recovered by the Heat. It is Brody Link coming up with the fumble recovery as the handoff went to Koska, and I don't know that Koska was expecting to actually take the ball, and it's a turnover to the Heat, and they'll have it 1st and 10 at about the 17-yard line, it would appear.
And once again, you get that long play, and the next one, quick turnover. I mean, the Sobos have a chance. It's what they got to cut down completely.
So 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Getting the play in, using the college-style cards down there, holding up. As you can see, they got the normal type of college logos.
Pitch out to Drosty. He's going to roll around left side. He breaks the tackle, and he's going to go. I don't think anybody's going to catch him. 50-40, one man, and he can't get there. It's going to be a touchdown for Caden Drosty.
82 yards.
82-yard touchdown run for Caden Drosty.
Gosh.
With 5:13 remaining.
I don't know why I agreed to do stats for you. Now I got to do math.
82-yard touchdown run.
360 yards with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 TDs.
7 touchdowns and 360 yards unofficially for Drosty thus far.
In 2 quarters.
And not even 2 quarters. In 19 minutes. Less than 19 minutes, actually.
58.
Jeremy Smith,
16.
you are correct. Both teams helping each other up. That is good to see. You're absolutely correct. Carnes under center. He's going to throw right, and the slant was there, but it's dropped a little bit behind the intended receiver.
Drosty watching out there. We got a little bit. There's the flag. Number 4 for the Sobos just stepped over Drosty and stepped on him. We'll see what the play is. They had a little bit of confrontation down there in front of the refs, so we'll see. Definitely an unsportsmanlike conduct on someone, if not both teams.
Was the intended receiver. We'll see what the penalty is. Did you get that on camera, John? Did you get the foul on camera? Yeah.
Wow.
There was a penalty.
Looked right at it. We'll see unsportsmanlike conduct.
At halftime, remember to support.
They will call it on the Sobos.
Well, he's pointing to the Heat side, Heat direction.
And of course, pork chop sandwich.
Shoot. Maybe they'll. It's one of those classics, you know. You see the retaliation, you don't see the
initiation.
Oh, he's going to look at the wrong way. That's the second time they pointed the wrong way on something.
Oh, John just got hit. John, good thing the camera is standing there, because John would have got nailed if it wasn't for the camera.
So the Sobos are going to move back.
So one of the cheerleaders down here, and now the coaches are going to call the West Central Heat out on the field, the entire team. And I would imagine this is one of those, hey, we're going to get done, we're going to be done, and we're not going to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I think the officials probably telling both coaches that we need to get control of this right now. I know the game's a little lopsided, but we're not going to.
Like there was a penalty on South Beloit.
TSSR Game Time live. Presented by MDH is brought to you by M&B Furniture. Bushnell's only furniture store is a mainstay community and offers free delivery within 40 miles. For everything you need to furnish your home, stop and see the fine folks at M&B Furniture at 41 West Main Street, or find them at M&B Furniture find them on Facebook, Instagram, or the web at www.mbfurnitureinc.com. You can also call 309-772-2111. Looking at the wrong line completely.
Yeah, Jim Unruh is on the sideline. That is correct, Doak Allen.
We have got Miss Brianna Tucker,
Unsportsmanlike
Alexia Kane,
against South Beloit.
Ellie Skyle, Chloe Mouter, London
I missed if they
Parker,
kicked somebody out.
I don't believe it was a kick out. You probably would have seen a little bit more. Looking down the line.
and Hannah Carr.
Looks
They're going to
like
be kicking it from the positive side of the 50 at the 45-yard line.
if you don't run an onside kick right now, I don't know what you're doing.
Well, I think when you're up 58-16, you probably
Yeah, probably not.
don't need an onside kick, but at the same time, I don't know. Woods seems to be his specialty, and unfortunately for the Sobos,
He's really good at it.
You practice this, right? I mean, you're still practicing, even though it's week 10. You're still practicing. He's going to onside it again. It's going to be short, and it's going to be picked up. A nice job already for Lucian Simmons on the return. And he's going to get it out near the 45-yard line to about the 44, it would appear. 1st and 10 Sobos at the 44-yard line.
I just see nightmares. Anytime I see an up back have the ball and start to walk forward, you do that one time as an up back, and you never do that again after getting crushed by multiple players right in front of you.
They actually moved it back to the 43-yard line. Why, did you do that once?
Yes, and I never did it again.
He just fell on it after that. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? I started out, the first thing I did was I went straight to my knees, and I'm like, I can't get it if it goes anywhere else. If it's right next to me, I'm going to stop it.
Myers rolling right. Meldrum is there. Got a handful of jersey. He lobs it up. There's nobody there. It's out of bounds. And it's going to be incomplete.
Caden Myers' pass is incomplete.
Heat defense pretty much blew that one up off the gate. Couldn't get a block on that blitz on the right side.
2nd down and 10. 5:02 to go. Yes, they're up by 40, folks, but the running clock doesn't start till the second half. They use the same running clock rules as IHSA.
Once again, twist on the ends.
Myers pitches it out to Kostka. Kostka's got some running room. He's going to go near the 50.
Tackled from behind. Landon Winters able to knock him down.
Give him a gain of 7. It's going to bring up 2nd down and a long 3. Clock running, 4:44 to go here in quarter number 2. Live from Henderson County, Illinois, West Central High School outside of Biggsville. As the Heat and the Sobos doing action in I-8FA football playoffs. Pitch is going to come out to Kostka. He rounds the corner. He's going to get a 1st down. He's come up and met in a big way by Drosty, but it's going to be a 1st down on a gain of 5. It's going to be 1st and goal, or 1st and 10 at the, technically it'd be the 46. He's not quite to the 45-yard line, so the 1st and 10. .401 remaining in the first half. And Myers had to keep that.
What a click.
And Link made the stop, also in the backfield.
He's coming up a little slow. He
Barnes
got hammered
in the backfield
hard.
as well. Well, the fullback got hammered first.
Brody
Schober.
Link hit the Schober, turned around and was right there for Myers. And Myers, you can see, is just a little shaken up talking to the ref.
Referee's asking if he's okay, I do believe. Clock is still running, 3:29 remaining.
He took a hard shot down on the head and hip.
2nd down and 10 for the Sobos. Pitch going to go out.
See, he
big
really
stick.
See, Myers really wasn't happy with that. Had to pitch, turned around, just saw an entire wall of heat. Couldn't get much of anything on that rush.
Colton Fletcher came up and gave a big stick to Kostka that time. No gain on the play. 3rd down and 10.
Kind of seems like the intensity of these hits have really ramped up
Since that unsportsmanlike penalty.
unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, you're right. Note to whoever plays these guys in the future, don't do that.
Yes.
Here comes Myers, going to hand off on the inside handoff,
Swarm.
and nothing doing. Link and friends are there. It's Drosty actually was the first one there. Also on the stop, number 99, Mikhail West. Schober on the carry, lost 4. It brings up 4th down and 14 from the.
That was so quick, I don't even know who
49.
even had the ball. I don't even think they knew who had the ball
It was
at that
Schober.
point.
On the inside handoff. 2:15, clock running, and it looks like Schober might be back in punt formation now.
Looks like.
Late player coming on the field for the Sobos, number 22, was Andrew Kaler.
Got 8 out there.
We'll see if they actually punt it here. They will. Schober, nice punt.
Ooh.
Nobody back to receive for the Heat. It's going to go
Down to about the 22-yard line.
and a little extracurricular fun afterwards is down at the bottom of a pile with Mikhail West was number 77, Colton Lintel for the Sobos, but it's a change of possession. 1st and 10 Heat from their 22-yard line. They call it the 21 on the scoreboard. Looks closer to be the 22, but
Yeah, I think it would call 22, but it is what it is. They're basically the same thing.
well, no, they're 3 feet different.
That's basically the same thing to me.
Carnes is going to pound it right up the middle.
They're
And
just
he's
going to
gonna-
keep on going, and he
he's gonna
cannot
bounce
be
off a few
stopped.
players. He's got to cross the 50. Stiff arm, and he might go all the way. He's got one player to beat. Can he get to his legs? He cannot. It's going to be a touchdown of the 78-yard variety for number 8, Mason Carnes. And with 1:36 to go, the Heat have a 64-16 lead. I ran out of room on my stat sheet to score right
First
scores on.
Heat player to score other than Drosty, as they are up 64-16.
That was a 78-yard run, right?
Indeed.
Well, they called it 79, so we'll call it 79.
All right. Well, then that'll mean he has 104 on the game rushing. They'll just take a knee here. So 64-16 your score. Here with 1:36 remaining in this first half. We'll take a quick break and be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Welcome back as we're back. Beginning.
Wait. We're arguing off air. Was the high step at the end a Walter Payton thing back in the day when people were diving his legs, he'd high step with his legs straight to keep him from getting his heels? Or was it a Deion Sanders primetime thing?
Well, the difference, I believe, is in the intention. Peyton had to do that. Prime did that.
So anybody watching at home, let's hop into live chat, see who was right. I said it was a Payton thing. Kenny said it was more of a Prime thing. So let's say it was a Walter or
Walter's
Deion.
the best running back of all time. He did everything.
He did do that, but let's get the live chat going. It's 64-16, 1:36 to go here in the first half. And let's see if that one goes out of bounds, and the stat girls ran out of the way. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Sobos with 1:36 remaining in the first half.
I tell you, I got all my work gear for Hart's Nursery.
Hey, we got one.
Hey,
Payson.
there we go.
Payton.
One
Who is
Payton.
that? Todd
Moon.
Todd Moon says it's Payton. I agree. That's what I'm saying too. That's my vote.
Well, you guys were actually.
Oh wait, Jeremy Smith says definitely prime
Hey,
time.
there we go. I tell you, it's all in the intention.
I
it's
think
all in the intention.
But I'm thinking this vote is going to go all about age. And they got a new quarterback in for the Sobos, and he's going to get hammered. The quarterback, Jacob Wilhite.
Jacob Wilhite on the keeper.
And Carnes.
Brought down by Mason Carnes and Brody Link.
And Brody Link over there on the stop.
So
loss of one. Second down and 11.
The sophomore in at quarterback. 1:14 remaining.
Schober comes over to get the play, and they're going to call a timeout, or the Sobos, with 1:05 to go here in the first half. It's 64-16. Well, Jeremy, I can't really argue with that. Peyton did it because of a lack of blocking. And, I mean, he had no blocking, that is true, but by that time he's outrunning people and trying to keep people from diving at his feet. So if you remember, I'm old, so I remember Walter Payton kind of in it towards the end of his prime. I'm saying that if Walter Payton ran behind the line, Emmitt Smith ran behind, or Barry Sanders ran behind the line, Emmitt Smith ran behind, those two guys would have ran for 700 miles.
I tell you, that Dallas Cowboy line was in whose prime time? There's McCormick talking about
That's what we're talking about. That's why I like Coach McCormick
Bears.
right there. Who's prime time? Definitely Walter Sweetness Payton. That is correct. Coming back from the timeout, as we talked about absolutely nothing important to this game during the timeout. Schober into the quarterback. Pitch is going to come near side. A little bit of running room now as Drosty actually got the running over that time. The carry was by Koska. And Koska is going to go. And we got an offensive lineman down behind the play. He went from the 47 all the way down to the 33, a gain of 14. Coming up a little slow was Caden Ellis, offensive lineman for the Sobos. Schober is going to roll right, throws downfield. It's going to be intercepted by the Heat. And the interception's going to be by number 9, Landon Winters, the senior wide receiver defensive back, gets the interception for the Heat, and another possible scoring drive thwarted. I get it out in a minute. Thwarted. Man, I can't talk. Anyway, it's one of those days. It's getting cold out here.
Really?
I should have worn another coat. I'm a little chilly.
You looked at me when I was getting all the stuff out today and said, "Is that your sweatshirt?" And I go, "Yeah, I brought a second sweatshirt just in case."
I kind of wish I'd have brought a second sweatshirt right about now. 34.1 seconds left, and I'm thinking that the Heat are going to take a knee here, and they will.
Most likely.
Carnes takes the knee. No gain on the play, and that'll be the last play of the first half. The Heat lead 64-16 at the end of the first 24 minutes of play. We'll take a break here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
All right, welcome back. We're here now with Wanda Foster, the Vice President of Nursing and Clinical Administration. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Well, what we're going to talk about today is some of the opportunities that are available at MDH for students, whether they be high school students, Spoon River College students, or Western students. MDH has a lot of opportunities to be involved and to learn, right?
We absolutely do. And we look so forward to having students here. We are a clinical site for Western Illinois University and their bachelor's program for nursing, as well as for Spoon River College nursing students and others that are doing some independent study. We welcome students, and we also encourage high school students. If you would like to learn more about nursing, we would love to meet with you. And there are opportunities at the hospital also where they can apply for jobs here, for positions. So we work closely with our nursing students, and we hope to recruit them and attract them and want to come back.
I know that publicly there's been a shortcoming or a shortage of nurses, right? And I know that every hospital and every nursing home and every clinical place period is searching for nurses. So how important is it for MDH to have these groups work with them, whether it be MDH or be Spoon River College or whatever the case may be? How important is it for MDH to then recruit those nurses to stay here and work as a profession?
It's very important. We want nursing students to feel very comfortable here, to enjoy their their clinical experience and their opportunities here. And then we want them to feel very comfortable, to give them a good orientation. We hire new graduates, of course, into our acute care area as well as the intensive care unit. We hire new graduates in the emergency room, in home health and hospice, in our OB department, and our surgery department. These are all areas that new graduates can come into. We certainly give them a robust orientation. No one starts on their own until they feel completely ready. They have a mentor certainly with them, and we want to give them the best start for success that we can. And then there are many areas of specialty they can choose to go into. Nursing is a very unique field. You can work full-time, you can work part-time if you need to take time off for some reason. It's a field that you can kind of step into a little bit more than maybe some other fields in healthcare. We also have scholarships available through our auxiliary, through the hospital, and then once someone is an employee here, we do have some tuition reimbursement. So we will certainly help with that.
And going back to the scholarships and the shortages that are across the board, not necessarily at MDH, but
everywhere.
Right? So everywhere. This is a profession that you can make a good living at and be pretty sure to have a job, right? So
absolutely.
This is a profession that high schoolers that are playing these sporting events or high schoolers that are watching these sporting events should consider, I would imagine.
Yes, very much so. You will always be assured to have a field, to have a job, a career in nursing. I hate to call it just a job because you really want someone on that career path who has that passion for caring for people, for providing nursing care. Through your education and through your orientation, we can teach you your skill set. But if you have that passion and the desire to be in the nursing profession, you will do fine.
Yeah, a career and a job, while they might be listed as the same thing, they're really not. Correct. I mean, if your career is being a nurse, you're probably going to enjoy it a lot more than if it's a job, right?
That's right. And you don't go into it first and foremost for the money. You go into it because that's what you want to do with your life, and the money certainly will follow.
Yeah, and that goes for anything probably.
Yes.
But the nice thing is right now, whether the money's good or bad, there's always going to be a job.
There will.
If you can get through the schooling and you can learn to love what you're doing, there's always going to be a job for you, right?
And it's not something for high school graduates exclusively. We have many people who have made changes midlife. We have people who have retired from their career in one thing and have chosen to go into nursing. So it's open for any age, and we certainly welcome that.
And you mentioned there's different areas of expertise for nurses. People think of that for doctors, but it's really that same way for nurses, right? I mean, you can be a surgical nurse and really become a great surgical nurse, or you can become a great ICU nurse, or you can do all those things.
Yes.
But if you really want to focus on something or be at OB, which you guys have a great OB department here, if that's what you want your focus to be and you really love working with expected and new mothers and young babies, you can do that, right?
You can do that. We also have positions in our MDH physician clinic practices as well. And if you are in nursing and you can choose to specialize in a certain department, you can choose to go on and be a director or a clinical care coordinator. You can go back to school and become a nurse practitioner, become a certified registered nurse anesthetist. You can go many different directions and really as high as to whatever extent in your education you would like to pursue.
Well, Wanda, thanks for coming and talking to us. We greatly appreciate it. I know that there's probably places, specific places within MDH that they can reach out to, correct? Is there somewhere that they need to call if they're interested?
I would call
in
our human resource department and start there, and then they can help direct and guide you. They can tell you about openings that we currently have. All of our current positions are listed on our MDH website. www.mdh.org. But certainly any positions for high school students, if they would like to start somewhere within the organization or volunteer experience, reach out to Human Resources and they can help direct you.
Well, again, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Biggsville, Illinois, as West Central Heat hosting the South Beloit Sobos here in I-8FA playoff. It was halftime, 8 minutes and 30 seconds or so left on the halftime clock. I'm Dwayne Hulett, Kenny Suter alongside John Burton on the camera. There's not a whole lot of camera action going on right now, but man, was there a bunch of it in the first half. 64-16 at the half. The Heat lead the Sobos and the Heat, folks, are the real deal. They can run the football. Mason Carnes had a run as good as you're going to see, breaking tackles and stiff arming and high stepping down the field. And Mr. Reiner, thanks for joining us. The Macomb Bombers going to be on TSSR Game Time Live tomorrow evening as they play host to QND in the IHSA Class 4A playoffs. And it's going to be a fun one. And we just decided today, actually I decided, and I told these guys that are working with me tonight, we're going to do a 1-hour pregame show tomorrow night. We'll have the TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH trailer on site. We'll do the show from the trailer. Take about 5:30 to 6:30 or so, and we'll take a break and head upstairs for the call of the game, which will be on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH as well. Chris Frankhauser and myself will be on the call. Kenny will be on the big camera upstairs, and John Burton will be on the sideline camera tomorrow night.
Mix it up a little bit, kind of get a little sense of how we'll do our championship game with multiple camera angles. It's nice when we actually have a bunch of people around so we can do that.
Yeah, we're going to be spread pretty thin with the I8FA stuff leading up to the state championship game, but if you want to see how we a little bit of how we're going to do the state championship game, you'll see John Burton's sideline camera skills tomorrow night from Macomb High School, as it's the number 3 ranked Bombers facing QND. Those two teams have had a long history of games, but they haven't played for a few years. They have playoff history as well, so it's bound to be a big contest. And the cool thing about it is if things go well, the Bombers play the Raiders Saturday night on the gridiron, and then Wednesday night, if everything goes to as they would hope, the volleyball teams will meet for a sectional title in Farmington as well. That'll be on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH also. So a lot of great postseason sports coming up here.
Yeah, we're trying to fit in as much as we can, with some of the IHSA schools not allowing us to stream their NHSA or FAHS. It's a lot of words, and it is cold outside.
National Federation of High Schools.
Anyways, we got about 5 plus that extra 3, so about 8 minutes till the second half. We got some first half stats. First, for the Sobos, your rushing leader, of course, is going to be Meyer with 68 yards on 15 attempts.
I wish I could turn the camera around right now. I turned to my right, folks, and I apologize for starting to laugh. I turned to my right, and John Burton, who is running the camera tonight, has winter gloves on, typing on his phone with his nose.
I wonder what he was laughing at. I turn around, and all I see is light next to his, shining off of his glasses.
Hey, I'm supposed to tell John's dad that he has his stocking cap on tonight, and he is being safe. It's even covering his ears now. It wasn't covering his ears earlier. So we apologize for. Okay, let's get back to what we were talking about. I'm sorry.
We'll get back to the stats. All right, Meyer was our leader rushing yards for the Sobos, 68 on 15 attempts with 2 touchdowns. Kotska following him with 57 yards on 9 attempts. And then Schober, 0 yards with 3 attempts with a couple of negative, followed by Wilhite with -1 with 1 attempt. Passing, Meyer, 89 yards for 7 attempts. Those 2 going to Hampton with 17 yards, 1 going to Kotska with 19 yards, and 2 going to Peterson with 53 yards. Had 9 first downs and 30 penalty yards for the Sobos. And for the Heat, Dwayne, I'll give you 3 chances. Who do you think's leading the yards for the Heat?
Drosty, and Drosty.
360 yards on 9 attempts with 7 TDs. 2 times he ran, he didn't score. It's crazy. It's crazy to think. Followed by Carnes with 104, followed by that long run, that 79-yard touchdown run, 7 attempts, 1 touchdown. Meldrum with 78 yards on 3 attempts. Passing, Carnes is 0 for 2, 5 first downs and 5 penalty yards, pretty much playing as clean as game as they can.
So we'll go through the scoring, and this might take the final 6 minutes that we have left to get through the scoring of the first half. 64-16, the Heat lead the Sobos. And the Sobos, we'll talk about this when we're done with the scoring, Kenny, but Sobos moved the ball a little bit. It wasn't like they didn't have some success. They just had things go against them. So we'll talk about that as we move on. So the first play that was a true offensive play that wasn't a penalty goes for a 51-yard touchdown run for the Heat with 11:46 to go in quarter number one. Drosty scored from 51 yards out, and a pass from Carnes to to Steffson. 23 is Hampton on the other team. So Steffson, and the two-point conversion pass was good, and it's 8-0. 9:41 remaining, a 71-yard run from Drosty after a one-play drive. The run failed. Is 14-0. Then after an onside kick, a 47-yard run by Drosty. Drosty threw to Steffson for a two-point conversion, and with 8:42 remaining, it was 22-0 Heat. Then, with 7:44 remaining, Drosty scored from 21 yards out. Carnes completed the pass to Steffson. It was 30-0. With 6:13 remaining, a 65-yard run by Parker Meldrum. The pass failed, and the Heat were up 36-0. With 3:11 remaining in the first quarter, it was an 8-yard run by Caden Myers for the Sobos to get the Sobos on the scoreboard. Koska had the two-point conversion run. It was 36-8. Just 11 seconds later, Drosty scored on a one-play drive again, 53-yard touchdown run this time. Carnes had the two-point conversion run. It was 44-8. Myers answered with a 5-yard touchdown run with 11:26 to go in the second quarter. Myers connected with Hampton for a two-point conversion pass. It was 44-16. Then it was an 11-yard run by Drosty with 6:51 remaining in the second quarter. The run was good by Drosty, and it was 52-16. With 5:12 remaining, it was an 82-yard run by Drosty. The run failed, and it was 58-16. And then the final score of the half came on perhaps the best run of the half. Carnes broke about 5 tackles, did a stiff arm about 50 yards downfield, and then high-stepped his way into the end zone as he scored from 79 yards out to make the score 64-16. The run technically failed, but we will point out that Carnes knelt down on the two-point conversion run. So he did not. They did not attempt anything. Joe Reiner talking to us and talking to Coach McCormick in the chat. Max Reiner, one of the stars for the Macomb Bombers, will be playing tomorrow night. West Prairie and Ashton Barkley and crew will be at Milledgeville tomorrow afternoon. That game will be here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Want to thank the school at Milledgeville and at WCCI Radio. Kyle up there coming on board and broadcasting all the Milledgeville games here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH and on our Hulett PubliPro LLC YouTube channel. We'll tell you that all the West Central games, as long as they're still playing, we're going to capture all of those the rest of the way on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, and you'll be able to watch those on YouTube for free all the way to the state championship game if you can get there. You can see Coach Unruh on the bottom of the screen right there, and I'm not real sure that he ain't wearing a Blue Boys jacket there. I'm sure it's not, but it sure looks like blue and white. Sure looks like an old Blue Boys jacket. He's got a ton of championships and a ton of state title appearances back in the day. And I do want to tell you, I talked to him for quite some time before the game tonight, and it was good to see Coach Unruh. I didn't know he was helping over here, but we talked about how much he enjoys the 8-man game. You know, he won state championships in IHSA and 11-man football, but he said he really loves the 8-man thing. So if anybody knows Coach Unruh, try to get him to come to the football game at Macomb tomorrow night. I told him if he comes during the pregame show, we'll put him on and we'll talk about his years at Carthage and then also what he thinks of this 8-man stuff as well. So hopefully he can make it up there in time. But he's got family coming in, said he didn't know if he was going to make it up or make it down there or not. If he does, we'll get him on for the pregame show, and that would be totally awesome to have a name like that on the show with us. You know, it's just so cool to have guys on with us that know so much about football. And what's really cool about him is he's done it all, right? I mean, he's won championships, he's done everything, and he's out here stumping for 8-man football and how good it is and how much fun. He goes, I absolutely love it. He goes, you're right up on the sideline. He goes, you can see the middle of the field so much better because you're 5 yards closer on both sides. He goes, it's an awesome style of football, and it's a lot of fun.
That's one thing that going back to 11-man, I did one of the A-Town games, was able to go up there, and I was sitting there, and I start counting. The first play, I go, oh, they got something wrong. I start counting, I get to 11, I go, oh, wait, I'm watching normal football, not 8-man football. You kind of forget after a while that there's only 8 people out there because it just runs just as good, if not better in some things, than 11-man football. And one small thing that I never really remembered is that sideline change. That sideline change changes a lot in the actual play and the strategy.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that about about losing track that there's only 8 instead of 11. That's one of the things Coach Unruh mentioned. He goes, the game starts. He goes, you don't even notice that there's not that many guys out there. You're out there playing, and he goes, certain schools in our area, which I'm not going to say what ones we talked about, but certain schools in this area in West Central Illinois, kind of a little south of here, that should really take a look at this 8-man stuff.
A lot of teams around here definitely would, especially when you talk about dropping school numbers, when you got people that don't want to play because of injuries and stuff like that. It's just going to be a less and less pool for kids to play. This 8-man allows teams that would have a great running back but kind of a worse offensive line, evens out the playing field a little bit.
Did I talk for 7 minutes, or did they not do the 3-minute warm-up?
I don't believe they did the 3-minute warm-up.
Okay. I was going to say, I know I talked a lot, but I didn't think I talked that much.
Oh, come on, Dwayne. I've traveled with you enough. You start talking, you never know when you're going to stop.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I can't. But that's what I'm saying. I didn't mean to talk that much. I've been known to, and I probably will again. And on to kick this time for the Heat. Looks like it's going to be number 81, Cody Wade, a freshman. Deep, high kick. It's bobbled, and it's going to be picked up. Koska on the return, and he's going to go out across the 40 to about the 42 or 43-yard line. On the stop was Ian Dunlap and others for the Heat. And the Heat are going to play their fresh soft for the most part. Brody Link going to come out there, but Dunlap is out there. West is still out there, but a whole lot of different people in the backfield, the defensive backfield for the Heat. Kyle Layferry is out there. Number 25, I think, is Aiden Reed is out there. Handoff's going to go from Will Height to number 4. That is Devin Morris. And he's going to go for a gain of 5. It'll bring up second down and 5. Just underway, third quarter. Clock will run as the Heat are up 64-16.
Do believe Morris, that is the player that had the unsportsmanlike penalty earlier in the game. So kind of watch kind of the way that he gets handled.
It's actually Myers running the football, and he comes around the right side. He's got running room down the far side. He breaks a couple tackles, and then Brody Link says you might be able to break some tackles of the freshmen who we've put in to play the game, but you're not going to break the tackle of me. And the senior gets way downfield from his defensive position, line position, and makes the tackle, and it was a big hit on Myers.
Comes from the 47 down to about the 20-yard line. We'll see exactly where they put it down.
So a 33-yard run if it's on the 20.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
And he's going to keep it again, run around left side this time. And he's going to be tripped up. Good job trailing the play by West. And Myers is going to go for a gain of about 4 or 5. We'll see where they mark it. Gain of 5, second down and 5. Clock running, 9:56 to go.
That pushed him over the 100-yard mark for Meyer.
Kind of surprised he's still in the game, to be honest with you.
Looking
Throwing
to pass.
downfield, it's a little bit behind Peterson, incomplete. Clock should keep running, and it will.
Peterson also in. Can't believe that he dropped that one.
Still with the problem on the offensive line, number 53, Caden Ellis, and the referee comes up to talk to him actually that time. He's still holding that right arm. That's the arm that he held when he got up earlier in the first half, and he's still out there, but obviously playing a little banged up, is number 53, Caden Ellis for the Sobos. Myers going to keep this one, roll around right side. He's going to be tracked down from behind. A big stick by the Heat. It was number 22, Kyle Layferry, and number 17, Alex McGraw on the stop. 4th down and 8 after the 3-yard loss. And the youngsters for the Heat trying to make a statement here after they kept the starter in for the Sobos. It's going to be a second handoff to Koska, and he's not going to get anywhere near there. In the backfield to knock Myers down was McGraw. West, Link, and Friends were there on the stop for the Heat. It's 1st and 10 Heat at the 19-yard line. A loss to 1 for Myers on the play. And the Heat will have the ball for the first time here in the second half with 8:03 remaining. The clock still running.
It was already almost 44 points for the Heat by the time we hit 8 minutes. That just shows you the difference between that running clock and a normal play.
So the quarterback for the Heat, number 7, Gage Stimson, Gage Stimson, the quarterback for the Heat. He's just going to power it forward. He doesn't quite look the same as the number 8 does, Stimson, but Carnes looks a little different playing that keeper than Carnes, but gain of 5, 2nd down and 5.
As long as you get four yards, that's a successful play.
Well, if you get 3, you can use 4th down to get the other one, right?
Well, yeah, but as Tony Akers said, why would I want to use 4 plays?
Well, why would you want to use 3? I mean, if you want to go that, if that's the way you want to look at it, I just use 1 and score. That's what we were doing in the first half. That's probably what Drosty's over on the sideline saying. We're letting the clock run down here as long as they can as
wait for the back judge.
Is just at the line of scrimmage waiting for the clock to wave, the official to wave the arm. He takes the snap. He's going to pitch it out right side.
That's the
and that's
same
going to be
play.
around Cody Wade is going to run it out of bounds.
And right there, I'll play right out, nowhere near the play.
It's going to be a gain of 7.
Hunter Schrader got knocked out, nowhere near the play.
A gain of 6. A gain of 6 for Wade. It's a gain of 6 and then a penalty on the Heat. So a gain of 6. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 9. So he gets the 6-yard gain, which would have been a 1st down from where the penalty was, but the 10-yard penalty makes it back to a 2nd and 9. 6 minutes and 10 seconds remaining.
Heat will have to, calm themselves a little bit as it's getting really chippy down there on that back side of the play.
Sobos still have most of their starters in, it would appear.
Well, last game of the year, you might as well get some seniors some time playing.
Pitch outside was bobbled by Wade, and he's going to be brought down. It's going to bring up a loss of 2. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 12. Host of white jerseys in on the stop, and it's going to bring up 3rd down. Well, never mind. They took it back to the 10. It's a loss of 1. 3rd and 10. Number 81, Cody Wade. 3rd and 10 here for the Heat. Clock is running. It will run for most of this half, except on touchdowns or timeouts. Hardest thing for Stimson in this offense is to wait, right, for the back judge to start waving his arm. Stimson's going to pitch it outside to Wade. He's going to round the corner, breaks a tackle or 2, and is going to go out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. See where they mark it. It's maybe a gain of
Cody Wade on the carry.
Gain of 6. It's going to bring up 4th down and 4. Coming in for the Heat is Ian Dunlap. Coming out is number 54, Blake Cole, the junior. 4th down and 4, and it looks like the Heat are going to go for it. 4:30 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
I tell you, toes are frozen at this point.
And it looks like they might just take a timeout here.
Nope, they'll see. 4 from 4.
Under center. Pitch is going to go left side. It's bobbled again on the left-handed pitch.
Get the ball.
Bobbled and out of bounds. It's going to be a turnover on downs. Wade is going to get the loss on the play.
Will take over on down.
A loss of 5. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 19 for the from the 20, excuse me. It was a 5-yard loss. So 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Sobos. 3:40, clock still running here in the third quarter.
Let's see if they keep Meyer in there.
Myers walks in. And they're taking quite a bit of time here as well. Morris is the setback. Pitch is going to go out to Koska. He's going to round the left side, but he's going to be brought down over there on the far side. I believe number 8.
Koska on the carry, brought down by Ian Dunlap.
Ian Dunlap, number 6 on the stop.
It's a gain of about 2.
2nd and 8, we'll call it. 2:56 remaining. Best rule they ever invented was a running clock in a blowout game.
Pretty much.
Well, at least for the broadcasters. Myers rolling back, looks to pass, right side. He's got the screen to Peterson. He's going to lose a lot of ground. He's got
he got that.
Link and others there to wrap him up, and included on the stop, number 22, Kyle Layferry. Link was the first one there, and he loses a bunch.
And he caught it, sat there, looked right, and realized, oh, no, there's no way I'm getting out of this. On that hesitation move, he couldn't get out of it.
Loss of 6, 3rd and 14. Far side, wide out. Or 14, Brody Weber, I believe. Myers is going to try to follow his fullback through. Link is there to make the stop. He's going to gain the 5 back they just lost to bring up 4th down and 9.
Once again, I mean, it's like every time I look down at the line after a play, somebody is on the ground coming right back up and just looking at the other team.
Harry Waugh is coming in to replace Mikhail West. And Schober under center now. He's going to
look
roll
to pass.
left and throws it up, but he's got a receiver there and incomplete. Could have been pass interference anyway. He kind of pushed the defender, Gage Stimson, out of the way, and the second string defense, minus a couple defensive linemen, make another stop, and it's 1:08 remaining in the third quarter. The Heat have the first down. 1st and 10 at the 18, a net change in yardage of 1 yard. Bunch of new numbers coming in now, including number 55, Keaton Rubush, a freshman.
Also out there, Jordan Kane, the freshman. Played up back and got a good little bit of squib going towards him earlier in the game.
Stimson under center, I formation. He waits for the back judge again. You're going to hear that a lot as we go along. Forgot to mention, Stimson's going to roll to pass now. Throws downfield.
Ball.
He's got a receiver open. It's a completion to number 17, Alex McGraw. And I guess the second string offense from the 18 out to the 49. A 30, actually, they'll give him the 50, a 32-yard completion. I guess if you're going to keep your starters in, we're just going to throw the ball a little bit because we can. And that's understandable.
Caught by number 17, I believe.
End of the third quarter. We'll take a break here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We'll be back in about 30 seconds, 64-16, heading into the fourth quarter.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
Welcome back to I8FA playoff football here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Dwayne Hulett Kenny Suter and John Burton with you tonight. Heading into the fourth quarter, 64-16. 1st and 10 from the 50 for the Heat, who have their second string offense in the ball game. Still a lot of the first stringers in. I don't know that there's a whole lot of, well, I guess they do have some numbers on the far side, but not like the Heat do. 38-8 was the half as Polo was beating Hiawatha. And the only score that we have in other IAFA games. Handoff's going to go right side, and man, look at that run by Stimson. Man, keeping the feet moving, young man. That's what you do. Nice run by the sophomore second string quarterback. A gain of 7 is going to bring up 2nd down and 3. Lowers the shoulder, gets low, and that's the thing. He's not as big as Carnes, but he runs hard and he gets low, so he's harder to hit.
Especially kind of that smaller frames, you can keep on pushing through and slide around a little bit. As long as somebody doesn't have a good grip on that arm, can't really take him down.
11:22 to go here in the fourth quarter. And give the Heat credit, they're still running their plays, but they are literally taking as much time as allowed on every play. Pitch is, nope, they're going to keep it, and Stimson really just kind of held on to that. He could have pitched it left, but they've fumbled the last 2 times they've pitched to Wade out there to the left, so he kept it. He's going to lose 1. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4. 10:53 remaining. Wide out to the near side, number 17, Alex McGraw. He goes in motion now, comes back to the tight end spot.
Don't think they know exactly what formation they want to be in.
Now Wade comes. They got 3 tight ends to the near side. Up onto the line goes McGraw.
High snap.
Stimson's going to keep it. Stiff arm. He's going to go for a 1st down and more, and he's going to step out of bounds. Kotska comes over to knock him out of bounds from the 44 down inside the 30, I believe. So at least 14 yards. Sports Corner 1st down to the 28, so a 16-yard gain.
Local 11-man score, Stillman Valley 35, Monmouth Roseville 26.
35-26, Stillman Valley over Monmouth Roseville, you might have heard right there in a local 11-man score.
Stimson, 9:40 remaining.
Stimson with the I formation backfield behind him. Wade is the deep back. Kyle Layferry the fullback. 9:30 remaining. There is when you don't score any touchdowns and you don't take any timeouts, this clock not stopping thing goes fast. And Stimson,
late comers to the pile,
didn't hand it off and held the ball and got piled on by about 6 of the 8 guys out there. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. But he used about 20 seconds there.
With being able to slow down, I'm kind of looking at some of their stances. The way that they are sitting in their three-point stance, all their arms are super back. It's kind of like they're in the middle of like a T-row if you're working out. As you can see, always touching that hip pad instead of kind of being up more front. It kind of gives them more power to get there. They get off the blocks really quick. They're able to be there. I was very slow, so I always had my hand right in front so I could get the first little punch off before I can get fully out of my stance.
It also gives you more power in the swing, right? Here's the pitch out to Wade. Again, left side, and again it's fumbled, and again it's on the ground. And it's bobbled and kicked and fallen on by...
Looks like the Heat.
Yeah, it was the Heat. Who went back there and got
16. It was probably
Jordan Kane. Wade is going to lose about 8 from the 20 to the 26-yard line. And it's 3rd down and 18.
8 minutes to go here, 3rd and 18.
See if Coach Kirby comes up and talks to us after the game tonight. If he comes up and talks to radio, we'll snag him as well. Chilly out here, as Kenny said, though. First
just a little bit.
Real chilly game we've had all year. Stimson going to hand off to Wade. He's got some running room. Oh, nice tackle. Who was that? Kostka coming up to make the stop.
Brought down by Lawrence Kostka.
It's a gain of
maybe one.
4th and 17. 7:22 remaining in the football game. Hey, you still got it on second quarter.
Well, I haven't had to use the scoreboard for a while.
Since then, right?
Yep.
Hit it again, it'll be overtime. That really screw people up.
Don't.
That's the craziest score I've ever seen in, in an overtime game. 3 tight ends to the far side. Or near side, excuse me.
We'll see what they're planning here.
Stimson's going to roll right. Fakes the throw. Now he's going to throw it on a double move.
Work.
Nice pass and completion to Alex McGraw. And he's down inside the 5. A Sports Corner first down from the 35. A 30-plus yard pass completion to Alex McGraw from the second-string quarterback, Gage Stimson. He's got 2 completions down to the 3 at 22-yard or 32-yard. Was it? Yeah, from the 35. 32-yard completion. First and goal at the, well, they're saying at the 4. So maybe 31-yard, I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Second 32-yard completion between McGraw and Stimson.
6 minutes remaining. Stimson's going to keep it himself, try to get in, and he will not. It's going to bring up second down. He'll get a gain on the play of a couple. Gain of 2.
We'll give him 2.
Second down and goal from the 2. Probably will be down to the 5-minute mark before they snap the ball. They're pretty close to it here.
Most likely we'll punch it in.
The back judge is not very far away now.
Not at all.
He's only about 12 yards away. There goes the hand. Stimson's going to keep it himself.
He is in for the touchdown.
In for the 2-yard touchdown. 5:01 in the fourth quarter. Clock's still running, but it was at 5:01. They stopped it at 4:58, so we'll call it 4:58.
I'm not mad at it. 70-16 here.
2-yard run, Stimson. And I'm guessing they'll take a knee here. 70-16. I don't think I've ever seen a 70-point score in football.
You have now.
I have now. That's true. In person, I should say. Nope, they're going to pitch it out to Wade. Hey, there's a left pitch and a 2-point conversion run. The pitch was good that time. Wade gets the run.
72-16. You know, you say, man, I've never seen a 70-point game. This team's averaging around 61 a game.
4:58.
4:58, 72-16. We'll take a quick break and be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I grew up in a small town in Missouri, and I like the feel of community. I like knowing the people that I take care of and knowing the people around me, providing care for someone that you know is in this community and helping them to get better.
Dry needling is where you insert a filiform needle into a muscle, a tendon, a ligament, sometimes a bone, and it promotes blood flow and circulation so that it heals that particular painful area.
Welcome back to Biggsville High School. The Heat leading 72-16 over the Sobos of South Beloit. 4:58 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Cheerleaders mostly doing all jumping jacks. One cheater down there moving their arms. They'll kick that one off. It'll be handled in the back. I believe that is Drosty. Excuse me. I'm looking at the wrong team. Koska.
And he'll take it out to the 50. Clock will be running. Unofficially, I haven't seen the actual bracket. I need to look at make sure I'm right. But as it should play out, Milledgeville, the winner of Milledgeville West Prairie, will play West Central next week.
Okay.
If Milledgeville wins, it'll be here in Biggsville. If West Prairie wins, it'll be in Scioto. We'll have it either way, though.
Wow. Set to go on the 50. Looking to pitch it across.
Schobert pitches it out to Koska. Was it Koska?
Let's see.
It
Yes, it
was.
was. Wade on the tackle.
Koska on the carry. He's brought down by Cody Wade.
4 minutes remaining. 4 minutes remaining.
Gain of
8.
8. Second down and a short 2.
Second and 2. They have motion in corner. Hands it off this time. We'll get the first down.
On the stop for the Heat, number 84, Jimmy Stevenson. First and 10 at the 39-yard line. 3:20, clock is running here in the fourth quarter. And they're taking plenty of time as well, coming in for, and they throw a flag as, looks like, came out. It's going to be, it's going to be, I think it's going to be the Heat coming up with it. It is coming up with it for the Heat, number 13, who I don't even have on our roster.
And Dwayne, you won't believe it. Guess what just happened? We have internet issues.
Did the phone die?
There, nope. Nope. Phone's going perfect. Apologies, folks. Apologies, folks. There we get some better numbers. Had
a little.
Even our internet phone is saying it's too cold.
It was a fumble recovery by number 13 for the Heat, who we don't have on our roster. I can't see his name on the back of his jersey there. Might be Stevenson, maybe. I can't tell. But it's going to be.
It is indeed Stevenson.
Under a minute to go, so we'll be.
Robertson. It's a son of some sort.
Stimson on the kneel down.
And Stimson's going to kneel down, and that well, they might make him run another play here. Technically, we'll see. They're going to take another snap real quick as they're under 40 seconds now. Make sure everybody's set. And the center snapped it, and Stimson was still looking backwards. And
yeah, that'll be our final here, 72-16.
72-16, the final, as we're having some sudden internet issues here, folks. We apologize for whatever that has happened all of a sudden.
I can't even come to fathom what it'd be. We had perfect all night. Right until then.
We are back live again now, so the two teams doing the handshake at the middle of the field, and that's how things will end here. 72-16, the final. The Heat advance to round number 2 of the I-8 FA football playoffs. We'll take a break here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Come back with some stats in just a few moments. So wait a second. Maya Marsden says, seeing Stevenson, my little brother, play is sort of unreal.
That is surreal there.
Surreal. I can't read. I'm too far away. Why don't you read it? I'm too far away. Folks, I decided to stay up out of the way so I didn't knock anything over tonight, and the stuff is just a little too far for this old guy to read. I was leaning in and I couldn't get it close enough. So anyway, say whatever
Seeing Stevenson, my little brother, play is sort of surreal. I remember wanting to play badly when I was his age, but not being able to due to money issues. Thank y'all for broadcasting this. You know, that's another angle with this 8-man kind of deal. A little bit less of a money hassle. Yeah, you'll be traveling a little bit more, but with the team and everything like that, a lot less people going around, a lot less kind of injury chance.
There's a pretty cool deal. As the crowd that's sitting over there is up shaking hands with the team as they walk off the field, so that's always a cool thing to see. And pretty cool little event here as the Heat get the 72-16 win. We'll take that break we were talking about a few moments ago, and we'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, with some stats in just a few minutes.
Every day, we walk through these doors, not knowing what waits. It's not easy, but we do it every day because our mission is you. Providing you compassionate care and providing you the best possible patient experience. McDonough District Hospital.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today and make your voice heard.
Welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live here, brought to you by JoJo's Gaming Parlor. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out the TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH Events, live on the big screens. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street in Bushnell, and cheer the area teams on to victory. Able to get it done today, 72-16. As with the JoJo's Gaming Parlor post-game show, we will have some stats here. First off, for the Heat, Drosty, player of the game, 7 touchdowns, 360 yards rushing, all in the first half. It's pretty hard to beat no matter what you do.
He became the TSSR Game Time Live Player of the Week right there.
Oh, yeah. Also following Carnes with 104 and a touchdown, 78 for Meldrum, 32 for Simpson and a rushing touchdown, and -2 for Wade. Passing, Carnes is 0 for 2, but Simpson 2 for 2, both of them 32 yards, 64, both of them going to the only receiver on the stat sheet, Alex McGraw, 64 yards on 2 receptions. And that was coming out, able to see a little bit of your JV squad coming in, Simpson, McGraw.
Here, and hopefully the OBS will work properly, as we're having some issues here late in our broadcast. We apologize for that. So we'll be on air tomorrow with our friends from Milledgeville, broadcasting for TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. The West Prairie Southeastern Cyclones travel to Milledgeville for I8FA playoff action. And we'll be live from Macomb High School in Macomb, Illinois for Class 4A opening round playoff action in IHSA.
What'd you just drop?
Was that the football? That was the
phone?
Oh, AirPods. That's not good. That's not good.
Heard a big old clatter.
We will have the pregame show from 5:30 to 6:30. Just thrown that together, so we'll hope it works out okay. And then we'll have the football game and coaches' interviews and stuff after that a little bit later in the evening. So a lot of fun coming here, and then we'll have the Class 2A sectional volleyball tournament from Farmington on Monday and Wednesday night. So a lot of fun stuff coming up, and postseason, you got to love it. I mean, you just can't beat postseason football. And if you're maybe if you're a South Beloit fan, you didn't like it so much tonight. But if you're a West Central fan, 72-16. And what's funny is the scoreboard is still on here at West Central High School. If the home team was on the other side of this score, that scoreboard had been turned off.
Off as soon as possible.
A long time ago. So a big win for the Heat. As South Beloit there becoming on the camera from John Burton as they talk for the last time here.
Stats for the Sobos. Meyer led rushing 108 with 2 touchdowns, followed by Kostka with 76. 0 for Jared Schober on 3 attempts, -1 for Wilhite, and 5 for Morris. Passing, Meyer had 83 yards passing, with Des Hampton getting 17, Kostka getting 19, and Peterson getting 47 of those attempts. Big thing for the Sobos, again, was penalty yards, with about 45 penalty yards towards them, both 2 on unsportsmanlike penalties.
Yeah, and that's one of those deals where both of the unsportsmanlike were by the same player, and not sure what was said over there, but obviously he not happy when he walked off the field. And he is the one player not in the South Beloit huddle right now.
Indeed.
But, I don't know if you're a West Central fan if you could want anything else from this game.
It's pretty much perfect.
You scored a bunch of points in a hurry. You showed a little bit of what you could do, but you didn't have to show anything special at all because you ran a sweep and it worked.
And then you add in, you got to see your defense get some turnovers, take some advantages like that. Able to show with 2 offside kicks early that, all 3 sides of your team is working like a well-oiled machine. And then add in that 4th little bit underneath of the JV squad working great too. You got a lot to look forward to next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be fun for the Heat as they see if they can make their way to Monmouth. That's what would be cool about this deal for the Heat. If they can make it to the state championship game, it's going to be a home game pretty much. I mean, literally just down the road and down Highway 34. And they will be here for a state championship game if they can get there. There's Coach Kirby working his way in. Can you come out and talk to us when you're done up there? All right, that's perfect. We'll get him after he's done. So we'll take a break here on the JoJo's Gaming Parlor post-game show on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. We'll let him talk to the radio station, and we'll have him here right after this.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
At Country Financial, we enjoy serving the community in which we live, big or small.
I love living in the Blandonsville area. It's where I grew up, went to school, and decided to raise my family. I never had a desire to live or work anywhere other than in a small town. I feel lucky to help my longtime friends and neighbors with their insurance needs. It's like working with family every day.
I'm Brett Powell, your local Country Financial representative, whose door is always open to work with you.
And welcome back here to Biggsville, Illinois. The West Central Heat get a 72-16 win over the Sobos of South Beloit. Coach Kirby up talking to the radio station. He's going to come down here and talk to us in just a few moments when he's done with that. And it was a heck of a game. We didn't go over the scoring. The final touchdown came from the backup quarterback for the Heat. The only touchdown of the second half came from Gage Stimson as he scored from 2 yards out. He had a couple completions to Alex McGraw, which set up that touchdown in the fourth quarter with 4:58 remaining in the fourth quarter. And it was icing on the proverbial cake for the West Central Heat as they won 72-16. Drosty had 7 touchdowns at last count. 51-yarder with 11:46 to go in the first quarter, a 71-yarder with 9:41 to go in the first quarter, a 47-yarder with 8:42 to go in the first quarter, a 21-yarder with 7:44 to go in the first quarter, a 53-yarder with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, an 11-yarder with 6:51 to go in the first quarter, and an 82-yarder with 5:13 to go in the first quarter. He had 9 carries, 7 touchdowns, and 360 yards on the night. Parker Meldrum broke up the monotony of Drosty scoring with a 65-yard run of his own with 6:13 to go in the first quarter. Mason Carnes scored on 79-yard run with 1:36 to go, and that was the most exciting run of the night as he broke several tackles, did a stiff arm about 40 yards downfield or 50, and then high-stepped his way into the end zone as he had one defender that was taking a shot at his ankles. And as we said, Gage Stimson scored the final points of the contest with a 2-yard run with 4:58 to go in the fourth quarter, a running clock the entire second half. Scoring for the Sobos of South Beloit, they finally got on the board when Caden Myers ran in from 8 yards out with 3:11 to go in the first quarter, and then Myers scored again with 11:26 to go in the third quarter, or in the second quarter with a 5-yard run. They ran the ball in once with Kotska and on the first touchdown to get 8 points, and then Myers connected with Hampton for a 2-point conversion pass to make it 16. That's how we got to the final score, 72-16 here in Biggsville, Illinois. I-8FA football action. And Coach Kirby up talking to us, and we're going to get him on here in just a minute. We'll take another quick break on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH, and we'll be back in just a couple moments.
We're an 11-bed ER. I pride myself on every day that the patients get what they need and see a physician when they need it. We want them to be headed towards the road of recovery when they leave here. I feel like we have nurses that care so much. We're more than a team. It's a family, and we want what's best for the patient.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And welcome back to West Central High School in Biggsville, Illinois. Coach Kirby talking to us now. And, Coach, off air, we were just saying that you didn't think your kids came out quite as good as they could. You scored on 2 one-play drives essentially to open the game. I think people watching at home would be like, I wish our team would come out like that.
I think if you asked our kids defensively, we weren't as crisp as what we're used to being. They did some really, really good things on offense. Their coach is brilliant, and he put us in some bad situations with their quarterback run. And our kids were frustrated when we went in at halftime, and I know that's hard to hear when it's, 60-16 at half. But, with that being said, they have a standard and that they feel they have to meet, and they felt like they didn't necessarily do that. So, yeah, everything looked rosy, but at the same time, our kids are perfectionists, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I actually said you guys were up 4 scores at the point, but they moved the ball.
Darn right they did.
They didn't score, but they moved the ball. They did some things against you. I thought Myers' ball handling skills and fakes were really good.
Man. His fakes were great. The motion and counter action that they had in their backfield was very, very difficult to follow. And what that does to your key reads is miserable as a secondary player, because when that guy goes in motion, your secondary has to rotate so that they're not +1 to the side that they're motioning to. And when you do that, your key reads have to change. The ball gets snapped. There's people moving. It's organized chaos. A lot of people say, but they're really good at it. That was very, very difficult.
The defense. If you're a good team, you want to be maybe not perfectionists, but you're always wanting to get better, right? Mm-hmm. So you see something this week that so we know we can respond to something different than maybe you're used to. Your opponent next week are both teams that you've played, right?
Yes, sir.
So they'll probably be looking to throw something at you. Whichever one comes to play you are going to try to throw something at you that you didn't see before, right?
Well, I'm sure that West Prairie has changed dramatically since the beginning of the year when we played them. So there's no doubt in my mind that they'll have different things than what we saw. And then Milledgeville actually has a player who is now off the injured list to add to their scheme. So certainly there's going to be different things that we'll see on film tomorrow afternoon as compared to what we saw from either one of those teams when we played them.
Drosty's pretty much the real deal, isn't he?
He's a heck of a player.
He gets outside. If you can't stay in front of him, you're not going to catch him. I don't think there's going to be many kids in any football, whatever, in high school is going to catch him, right?
There's not. No. You're right. If he has leverage on you, it's over.
The thing that I liked about him, this first touchdown run, he went outside to pitch, and there was nobody there. His second one, that move where he stepped out, he went out and he stepped inside the defender who was trying to get him to the outside. He stepped inside him and then it was gone. I mean, he's got not just speed, he's got some moves too.
Right. Up to tonight, by far, the play that he averaged the most amount of yards would have been a GT play that we run, which is actually just a B-gap power. And that's when you really get to see what he's capable of. He'll soft hip somebody or attack their front hip and get their weight off balance and attack the second hip, or he's just super, super patient a lot of times with our offensive linemen to get them up to the next level. But, yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's a good player.
Carnes isn't a bad quarterback to have as your quarterback sneak guy either.
He's a mule, isn't he? He's a mule. He is a workhorse.
I said that his touchdown run was as good of a touchdown run as I think you're going to see. And the stiff arm 50 yards down the field almost made me laugh a little. And then we were trying to decide whether he prime-timed or Peytoned into the end zone when he did the high step. And
I'm going to have a talk with him. I thought I saw the same thing. I wasn't sure. Well, it'll be interesting to have his take on that. But, if you watched our film from last week when we played Amboy, he stiff-armed a couple people off of wedge there as well. A couple weeks ago when we played Milledgeville, he did the same thing. So, he's understanding once he gets to the second level, if he can get an arm on somebody, it's going to be pretty tough to tackle him. I mean, he's a big kid.
I do want to say in his defense, there was one kid that I was waiting to dive at his feet.
Yeah.
And I don't think he ever dove, but he was close enough that I was waiting for it to happen. It never happened. So I'm thinking, in his defense, I said it was the Peyton, actually Walter Payton sweetness kind of thing, trying to keep your feet from getting hit. I didn't think he was showboating. So I don't want to try to get him in trouble there. I didn't think he was showboating. I thought he was trying to keep his feet out because, I mean, if I'm a big guy and I run 79 yards, I don't want to run 77 and get tackled at the 2. You know what I'm saying? So I can appreciate what he was trying to do if that's what he was trying to do.
I think Coach Arnold would say that young man made a business decision not to try to make that tackle.
I would agree. You guys had in I8FA, you had the biggest point differential of the season between all the teams. You come in second seeded because of your playoff points, right? Mm-hmm. And so on. But this place has really proven to be a hotbed. You've done a great job with 8-man football. I talked to Coach Unruh before the game, and he's from 11-man, and I'm sure you're from 11-man originally. This 8-man football game is a whole lot of fun.
It's a blast. It is an absolute blast. And to hear Coach Unruh is funny because people will ask him. He's like, it's unbelievable the amount of fun it is. And I just kind of lower my head and just move forward. But he he's having a blast, and he's just like these schemes that you have to have. And then, he's like, defensively, it's a nightmare. And, the amount of time that we spend defensively each week is exponential compared to what we do offensively in terms of the amount of time we spend. But, it's a fun game. It's people think that it's arena football, and that's funny because, you go watch Ridgewood or you watch us or you watch Amboy, and, man, it's football. Yeah, I mean, those people are lining up, putting their hands in the ground and getting after each other.
Do you know Joe and Sarah Reiner?
Yeah.
Sarah says, wow, Coach Kirby, that's a lot of points.
Yeah, she's our middle school principal, and she
they're in live chat right now.
Well, thank you, Sarah, or thank you, Mrs. Reiner. Our kids played very well tonight. I'm very proud of them. Can't wait for next week.
Well, we're going to get you on a show, one of our TSSR weekly broadcasts that just didn't work out this week, and I apologize for that, but we'll get you on. And I tried to talk Coach Unruh. We're doing a pregame show tomorrow night before Macomb and QND. I tried to talk Coach Unruh because that's just a little
he's going to be in Hillsboro tomorrow night. He's got former players coaching.
Oh, I tried to talk him into coming to be on the pregame show because I said a name like that talking about 8-man would be great for people to hear, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's people. How'd you get him coaching? I'm like, we've been friends for 25 years. When he came and watched one practice, he was hooked.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Well, Coach, I'll let you get out of here. It cooled off a lot more than I thought it was going to.
Buddy,
tonight.
I got a coat on.
I got a sweatshirt on, and I'm fat, so I figured I'd be okay. But it got a lot of cold, and John's ready to get tore down. So thank you for having us. We're going to follow you all fall, and hopefully we'll see you in Monmouth too.
Let's hope we got a few more weeks. 3
more.
3 more.
You
weeks.
just got to go the first one, and then the next one, and then the next one, right?
Let's go 1-0 again.
There you go. All right, Coach Kirby, thank you very much for talking to us on the postgame show.
Thank you for the support.
No
this
problem.
means a ton to our community. It really does. These people love watching this. Thank you.
Thank you. That'll do it for our broadcast here tonight from West Central High School. I'm going to delete a couple things here real quick. And before we shut down so that the live chat doesn't have it in forever. And then we will call it quits for the night. We'll be back on air on Hulett PubliPro LLC's YouTube channel tomorrow with Milledgeville and West Prairie Southeastern. And then tomorrow night, Macomb Bombers and Quincy Notre Dame Raiders in IHSA Class 4A football action. For Kenny Suter, who's already halfway to Macomb probably. For John Burton, I'm Dwayne Hulett. Thanks for joining us tonight. 72-16. Heat get the win. They move on to round number 2. We'll see you tomorrow here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.